At the edge of dawn, the Serengeti holds its breath. A pale gold light unfurls across the endless grass, spilling softly, like a vow made only to the land. The wilderness glows beneath the sun's first touch. Dew gathers and glistens. Silhouettes of trees and herds stir, shifting into life as shadows give way to day. Here, the ancient cycle begins again. The rustle of reeds, the far-off cry of unseen birds, the patient rhythm of the horizon itself. And in this world of beginnings, one creature rises above all others, not through solitude, not through conquest alone, but through kinship, through bonds stronger than tooth and claw. The lion, the sovereign of the savannah. Its authority lives in family, its power tempered by cooperation, its presence a quiet majesty that silences the plain. This is the kingdom of lions, a realm where courage is measured not only in battle, but in protection, where the young learn by watching, listening, and standing together, and where every dawn crowns the pride in a glow both timeless and forever new. A pride is more than a gathering of lions. It is a society, structured, resilient, and bound by unspoken rules that dictate both survival and legacy. At its center stand the lionesses, sisters, mothers, and tireless hunters. They are the architects of this world. Each movement is measured, each decision tied to the well-being of the group. Together, they weave a network of cooperation, a living tapestry of kinship and instinct. They share everything. A successful hunt is not the triumph of one, but of all. A newborn cub is not the responsibility of a single mother, but a child of the entire pride. The lionesses nurse, protect, and discipline one another's young, ensuring that no cub is ever truly alone. For the cubs, life begins as a game, playful, fragile, and unaware of the dangers beyond the grass. They tumble and mock battles, honing the skills they will one day need. But beneath their innocence lies a heavier truth. They are the pride's future, and the future here is never promised. Every dawn is a gamble. The lions awaken to the distant calls of hyenas, to the scent of leopards passing in the night, to the endless hunger that drives them toward the hunt. Even moments of peace, resting in the shade, grooming one another, watching the cubs explore, are edged with tension. At any instant, that calm can fracture. Invading males may arrive, drawn by the scent of power and opportunity. Rivals stalk the horizon, waiting for weakness. And the land itself, parched in the dry season, teeming with prey yet unforgiving, offers no mercy. The pride lives in constant negotiation with danger. Yet it is this very struggle that binds them tighter, that forges strength from vulnerability. Because in the wild, survival is not guaranteed. It is fought for, shared, and passed from one generation to the next. And as the sun sets over the savannah, the pride stands together, a family, a fortress, and a story written in tooth and claw. The savannah is both generous and merciless. It offers life in abundance, vast herds that graze the plains, but it demands a heavy price for every meal. To eat, lions must hunt, and the hunt is never simple. lions are not solitary predators. Their strength lies in unity, in the seamless cooperation of the pride. Every step is measured, every movement a whisper of silent communication. A single misstep from the prey is all it takes. In a heartbeat, the chase is over. The hunt has ended. Tonight, the pride will feast. Bellies will fill, cubs will nurse on fresh milk, and for a few brief hours, hunger loosens its iron grip. But on the savannah, no feast lasts forever. Tomorrow, the struggle begins again. Guardians of the pride, the males. They are not the hunters of the group, yet their presence is everything. Their massive frames and thunderous roars stand as living walls against danger. With a single call that rolls across the plains, they can warn off hyenas, leopards, or even rival lions. But power on the savannah is never permanent. For every ruler, there is a challenger. Young males, exiled from their birth prides, wander the wilderness, stronger, hungrier, and driven by the desire to claim a legacy of their own. And when they come, the savannah trembles. The night erupts in sound, deep roars answering roars, a clash of voices that shakes the air. Rival males close the distance, manes bristling, muscles coiled for battle. The confrontation is brutal. Claws rake, teeth sink, and bodies crash together with bone-shaking force. This is not a fight of skill, but of endurance, fury, and will. The war for dominance is savage and unforgiving. In the end, only one truth remains. The victor claims the pride, the females, and the chance to father the next generation. The vanquished fades into the wilderness, wounded, broken, and alone. For the lions of the savannah, survival is not just about the hunt. It is about power, inheritance, and the endless struggle to hold on to both. Even rulers face rivals. The savannah is never a kingdom of one. Power must be defended not just from other lions, but from an entire cast of challengers. In the shadows, hyenas stalk. Clever, relentless, they wait for the moment when lions are weary from the hunt, their strength drained. With laughter that chills the night, they surge forward in numbers, harassing, distracting, striking from every angle. Alone, a hyena is no threat, but together they are a tide of teeth and persistence, capable of robbing a pride of its hard-earned kill. Above, vultures circle endlessly, their black silhouettes etched against the sky. Patient scavengers, they drift on the thermals, waiting for weakness, for death, for opportunity. Their watchful eyes remind the lions that even in victory, they are never truly alone. But perhaps the most dangerous rival is not a scavenger at all. The great buffalo. Massive, unpredictable, and armed with horns sharp as spears, can turn predator into prey in an instant. One wrong move, one mistimed leap, and the hunters may find themselves gored, trampled or broken beneath a wall of muscle and fury. Across the Golden Plains, the African buffalo moves in vast, wary herds, a wall of muscle and instinct. For lions, they are both prize and peril, a source of sustenance that demands every ounce of skill and courage to claim. The pride observes from a distance, muscles coiled, eyes tracking, every whisker twitching with anticipation. One misstep, one premature rush, and the hunt could turn deadly. Buffalo are no ordinary prey. Their horns can pierce flesh, their charge can crush bone, and their unity makes them nearly impenetrable. The battle is chaos, a collision of predator and prey, where every second counts. Lions must work together, driving the herd, isolating a weaker member, and striking decisively before the buffalo can regroup. One miscalculation could mean death, or worse, the loss of a prize that could feed the pride for days. Yet the plains remain unforgiving. Each hunt is a gamble. Each buffalo herd a reminder that life and death are inseparably entwined. In the struggle between hunter and hunted, the savanna tests the skill, patience, and unity of every lion and ensures that only the strongest survive. The most renowned and iconic member of the hyena family is the spotted hyena. Under the scorching sun of the African savanna, where golden grasslands stretch endlessly, this powerful predator moves with confidence and purpose. A testament to resilience and adaptability, the spotted hyena has evolved over millions of years to become one of Africa's most formidable carnivores. With origins dating back more than 10 million years, it has followed a unique evolutionary path, fine-tuning its physical and social traits to thrive in some of the continent's harshest environments. Built for survival, the spotted hyena possesses a muscular frame adapted for endurance and strength. Its distinctive sloped posture, caused by longer front legs than hind legs, is not just a visual trait but a key advantage, allowing it to traverse rugged grasslands and rocky terrain with ease. The parched earth of Okavango trembles beneath the heavy, steady steps of a herd of blue wildebeest. Standing about 125 centimeters tall at the shoulder and weighing around 200 kilograms on average, these antelopes possess a strong muscular build. Their coats shimmer with a deep silvery gray hue, often catching subtle hints of blue in the sunlight, complemented by a long black mane and a thick beard along the chin. Despite their bulky frame, blue wildebeest are surprisingly agile. When threatened, they can reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, a vital adaptation in Etosha, where predators are never far behind. These animals live in herds, ranging from a few dozen to several thousand, a social behavior that plays a crucial role in shaping the unique ecology of Okavango. As specialized grazers, blue wildebeest primarily feed on short grasses that quickly sprout after rainfall. Their digestive systems are finely tuned to extract nutrients from coarse, low-quality vegetation, an essential advantage during the long dry season when food becomes scarce and less nutritious. At Okavango, artificial waterholes provide critical lifelines during these harsh months. Wildebeest typically gather at these watering points in the early morning or late afternoon, avoiding the blistering midday heat that can push temperatures above 45 degrees Celsius. Approaching the water in loose formations, their eyes constantly scan the surroundings, ears alert to the faintest sound. Subtle gestures, a flick of the tail, a brief grunt, serve as silent communication, maintaining the herd's cohesion amid the quiet tension of the moment. By grazing steadily and moving frequently in search of fresh grass, blue wildebeest prevent vegetation from becoming overgrown or stale. Their feeding habits encourage new plant growth, enabling the landscape to renew itself with each rainy season. This process supports a diverse array of smaller species, from insects to birds, which thrive in the healthier, more dynamic ecosystem the wildebeest helps sustain. Migration is one of the most vital behaviors for blue wildebeest, yet this instinct is increasingly disrupted across much of Africa. Artificial barriers, expanding road networks, and land development have fragmented their habitats. At Etosha, migratory routes still exist, but are becoming more restricted as available living space shrinks. A study published in early 2024 warned that herds confined to smaller areas are showing signs of genetic decline. Loss of genetic diversity poses a serious threat to the species' ability to adapt to future environmental challenges, including prolonged droughts and shifting climate patterns. The sun erupts over the horizon in a blazing inferno, igniting the sky with streaks of crimson and gold. Every dawning dusk marks the battleground, where life and death perform their relentless dance. Here, every creature is both hunter and hunted, each moment a test of instinct, agility, and will. A single misstep could mean the end, while a moment of cunning or power could secure another day of survival. This is the heart of the wild, where the balance of nature is written in tooth and claw. The land itself is a formidable adversary, but even greater dangers lurk where the migration must pass. Rivers like the Mara are not just obstacles, they are gauntlets of death. These waters are anything but tranquil. They churn with unseen menace, concealing some of Africa's most fearsome predators. Beneath the muddy surface, 12-foot-long Nile crocodiles lie in wait, their patience honed by millennia. With a single explosive lunge, they clamp down on the unsuspecting, dragging their victims into a watery grave. Among the countless wildebeests and zebras attempting the crossing, thousands will never reach the other side. Yet survival does not guarantee safety. Beyond the riverbanks, the dry grasslands stretch endlessly, an open stage where predators rule. Lions, hyenas, and cheetahs haunt the savannah, masters of ambush and pursuit. Lions, concealed in the sparse shade of acacia trees, wait with unwavering focus for the weak and exhausted to stumble within striking distance. During the dry season, their hunt success rate surges to 30%, a deadly advantage in an already mirthless landscape. Every hunt is a brutal test of skill, where the difference between life and death can be decided in a heartbeat. In this crucible of survival, weakness is a death sentence. The sun blazons, the grass withers, and parched rivers recede into cracked wastelands. Here, only those who are fast enough, resilient enough, and cunning enough can carve a path through the ever-present shadow of death. Speed in this arena is salvation. But it's not just about being fast. It's about the ability to explode into motion at a moment's notice. On the open plains where there is nowhere to hide, the hunted must rely on agility, reflexes, and strategy. Thompson's gazelles, small yet swift, are among the most gifted performers in this deadly theater. When danger strikes, they erupt like living arrows, reaching speeds of 50 to 55 miles per hour. But speed alone is not their weapon. They zigzag unpredictably, twisting and bounding in erratic patterns that leave even the fastest predators struggling to keep pace. And yet the cheetah remains the ultimate sprinter of the savannah. In mere seconds, it can explode from stillness to 70 miles per hour, closing the distance between hunter and prey with breathtaking efficiency. But such speed comes at a cost. Cheetahs sacrifice endurance for their bursts of acceleration. The relentless heat of the dry season works against them, forcing their hopes to end swiftly. If the gazelle can outlast a cheetah's brief sprint, it has a chance to escape, slipping back into the wild to run another day. On the African savannah, every moment is a battle, every decision a gamble. Here, life is measured in heartbeats, and only the strongest, swiftest, and most cunning will endure. For the cheetah, failure is more than just a lost meal. It's an energy debt it cannot afford. Limited by its endurance and the unforgiving heat of the savannah, a single failed hunt forces it to retreat, conserving what little energy remains for another, hopefully easier opportunity. Meanwhile, zebras, adorned in their striking black and white stripes, have perfected the art of survival in the African wilderness. Speed is their greatest weapon, but it's not their only defense. When faced with danger, they don't just run. They explode into breathtaking sprints, reaching speeds of up to 40 miles per hour. Their momentum becomes a blade, slicing through a predator's chance of a successful hunt. On the savannah, lions and cheetahs lurk within the tall grasses, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But zebras are not defenseless. Their keen eyesight scans the horizon for movement, while their powerful legs, built for both speed and strength, are primed to react in an instant. An adult zebra's sprint forces even a cheetah, the fastest land animal on Earth, to push itself to its absolute limit. Yet outrunning danger is not just about speed, it's about strategy. Zebras have mastered the art of sudden, unpredictable turns, veering sharply in a way that disrupts a predator's chase. A 2023 study by the Savannah Wildlife Institute found that these abrupt maneuvers can reduce a lion's hunting success rate by up to 70%. In the endless game of survival, where the line between life and death is razor thin, these split-second decisions make all the difference. But speed alone is not enough. Endurance is the true weapon in this long-term battle. Unlike cheetahs, which rely on explosive bursts of speed, zebras possess remarkable stamina, capable of sustaining their pace over long distances. Predators, on the other hand, tire quickly. A chase that lasts too long becomes a test of endurance, one that often ends with the zebra pulling ahead while its exhausted pursuer fades into the dust. Life on the savannah is an unrelenting dance of survival, a contest of speed, strategy, and resilience. Every second counts, and only those who have mastered the art of movement can continue the never-ending rhythm of nature's most dramatic battlefields. When the sun reaches its zenith and the air becomes thick with heat, survival in the savannah shifts from speed to endurance. Every breath feels heavy, every step an effort. But for some, stamina is the ultimate weapon. Among the most resilient creatures of the African grasslands are wildebeest, also known as gnu. For hundreds of thousands of years, they have thrived in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth, evolving into the marathon runners of the wild. Their legendary stamina carries them across vast distances, fueling one of nature's greatest spectacles, the Great Migration. Each year, as the dry season grips the land, over 1 million wildebeest embark on a perilous 1,800-mile journey in search of water and fresh grazing land. This relentless migration leads them across scorching plains, treacherous rivers teeming with crocodiles, and open terrain where lions and other predators lurk. The merciless sun can push temperatures beyond 100 Fahrenheit, turning the savannah into a crucible where only the strongest endure. But wildebeest are not merely wanderers. They are survivors with a finely tuned strategy. Their true strength lies in their stamina and herd instinct. When threatened, they don't rely on short bursts of speed like cheetahs or sudden ambushes like lions. Instead, they run, and they keep running. While a cheetah can reach 70 miles per hour in an explosive sprint, it can only maintain that speed for a few hundred feet before exhaustion sets in. Wildebeest, on the other hand, can sustain a steady pace of 30 to 40 miles per hour for miles. The longer the chase, the more the advantage shifts in their favor. Endurance is their greatest defense, but unity is their shield. Moving in massive herds, wildebeest create a chaotic whirlwind of motion, making it difficult for predators to single out a target. This collective movement, combined with their relentless pace, turns what could be easy prey into a formidable force. In the endless battle between predator and prey, wildebeest are not just survivors, they are warriors of the savannah, proving that resilience, strategy, and sheer determination can triumph over even the deadliest threats. Their journey is not just about survival. It is a testament to nature's grand design, where endurance is the key to overcoming the odds. The dry season in the African savannah descends like an unrelenting inferno, stripping the land of its vitality. The earth cracks under the weight of the heat. Once lush grass withers into brittle golden husks, and each step stirs clouds of dust that hang in the heavy air. Water becomes a luxury, reduced to shallow, muddy pools that shrink under the merciless sun, their last drops vanishing into the sky. In this unforgiving landscape, survival is not about speed, it is about endurance. Among the masters of perseverance is the gravy zebra, the largest and most distinct of all zebra species. Its bold black and white stripes stand in stark contrast to the sun-scorched plains, a living emblem of resilience. Unlike other grazers that rely on swift escapes, gravy zebras endure the heat by outlasting it. When the grasslands become a furnace, they embark on arduous treks, traveling more than 20 miles a day in search of water. With an extraordinary memory, they retrace hidden pathways to long-forgotten waterholes, a skill honed by generations of survival. But memory alone isn't enough. Nature has equipped these zebras with a remarkable physiological advantage, a highly efficient circulatory system that acts like a built-in cooling mechanism. While their stripes may not directly regulate body temperature, an intricate network of blood vessels helps them dissipate heat quickly, allowing them to recover faster than many other animals. This advantage gives them the stamina to keep moving, even under the relentless glare of the sun. Yet the journey to water is fraught with danger. Predators, lions, hyenas, and opportunistic hunters lurk near the last remaining water sources, knowing that thirst will drive their prey into reach. But gravy zebras do not merely charge forward, they are strategic in their survival. They use the scarce shade of acacia trees to cool their bodies and conserve energy, timing their movements to avoid the most dangerous hours of the day. For these zebras, the battle against the dry season is not won through brute strength or speed. It is a test of endurance, intelligence, and adaptation. In a world where the weak fall to the heat and the unwary to predators, Grevy's zebras stand as living testaments to nature's relentless will to survive. High above, sharp talons command the open skies, ruling every shadow that sweeps across the land. On the plains, the pride asserts its dominance over the chase, their teamwork shaping the fate of every pursuit. And in the silence, armored giants lie in wait, their patience as formidable as their power. These are Africa's 7 natural wonders, 7 battlegrounds where survival is tested in its fiercest form. Here, the challenges arise not only from relentless predators, but also from the unforgiving force of the land itself. Before we embark on these epic encounters, tell us in the comments where you are watching from. We truly value the chance to connect with you. And now, prepare yourself for the journey ahead. Welcome to Africa's 7, nature's most untamed and unforgiving arenas. The Great Migration surges like a roaring whirlwind as millions of wildebeest and zebra move in unison across the endless plains. In the shadow of Ngorongoro crater, the largest intact volcanic caldera on Earth, black-maned lions reign over a kingdom as ancient as time itself. Beneath the towering slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa's highest peak, the crowned eagle dives from the heavens, scattering troops of monkeys in sudden chaos. At sunset, along the banks of the world's longest river, the Nile crocodile waits motionless, a living relic cloaked in gold light. Farther south, the Okavango Delta spreads like an emerald labyrinth, where African wild dogs move with the precision of seasoned warriors, striking as one. The champions list stretches all the way to the Sahara, a sea of scorching sand spanning 11 nations of North Africa. And beyond, off Egypt's coast, reef sharks glide like invisible guardians, patrolling the jeweled reefs of the Red Sea. 7 wonders, 7 stories of survival, power, and breathtaking beauty, each leaving the world in awe. Deep within Ngorongoro crater, often described as a primordial arena of life, dwells a bird bathed in soft pink, as if sunset itself had spilled across the salt flats. This is the lesser flamingo, small in stature, yet bold in character. For them, Ngorongoro is more than a sanctuary. It is an extraordinary natural banquet in the highlands of Tanzania. At the heart of the crater lies Lake Magadi, a shallow, alkaline pool that seems inhospitable, yet fuels an explosion of life. Here, cyanobacteria, spirulina, flourish in dazzling abundance. This microscopic algae forms nearly the entire diet of the lesser flamingo. Rich in carotenoids, it infuses their feathers with a brilliant pink hue, as though painted by the very sun of the equatorial sky. The flamingo's beak is a marvel of evolution, a precise natural filter. Inverted into the water, it sifts through countless microorganisms, separating life-giving algae from the briny shallows. Inside, delicate lamellae act as ultrafine cones, straining food from mud and salt, ensuring only nourishment enters their fragile systems. Although scattered across Africa, nearly 80% of the world's lesser flamingo population, between 2.2 and 3.2 million individuals as of 2025, thrives here in East Africa. Most gather at the great alkaline lakes of the Rift Valley, Lake Natron, Lake Bogoria, Lake Nakuru, and Lake Manyara. Yet none can match the unique terrain and ecological balance of Ngorongoro Crater. For these birds, Lake Magadi is a vital stopover, a safe haven when larger lakes dry, shift in alkalinity, or lose their food supply under the growing pressure of climate change. As the soft pink glow of the lesser flamingos fades across the salty waters, Ngorongoro falls into stillness, its vast landscape settling into silence, like a prayer left unfinished. Within this immense 260 square kilometer caldera, its towering cliffs rising like ancient ramparts, a prehistoric giant continues to endure, the black rhinoceros. It moves without display, without noise, its heavy steps pressing into the darkened mud as though it carries with it the last breath of wilderness itself. Here, the crater offers everything this rare survivor needs. Fresh water flows from the Mungi stream and spreads through the Gorigor swamp. From open grasslands to tangled thickets and scattered woodlands, the habitats provide an ideal refuge for a browser that favors low plants, fibrous shrubs, and woody vegetation. Today, Ngorongoro shelters only about 30 individuals. Yet because they live within this contained basin, the crater holds one of the highest concentrations of black rhinos anywhere in Africa. Elsewhere, glimpsing even a single rhino is a rare stroke of fortune. But here, the chances of an encounter are far greater. It is not boldness that reveals them, but the crater itself. Its walls confine their range, shielding them from many outside threats, and preserving a bloodline of extraordinary value. These rhinos are not reintroduced transplants. They are the descendants of ancestors that have walked this land for thousands of years. Their lineage holds rare genetic adaptations, seasonal shifts in behavior, acute sensitivity to the rhythms of the environment, and a stubborn independence in survival. In a world where biodiversity is fading, such original genes carry immense importance for future research and conservation. The black rhinoceros is not a grazer of short grass, but a browser of shrubs, leafy plants, and woody branches. An adult consumes between 20 and 27 kilograms of food each day, its powerful digestive system breaking down tough cellulose. To escape the highland heat, they feed mostly in the cool of early morning and late afternoon. In the wild, their lifespan stretches from 30 to 40 years, but within the relative stability of Ngorongoro, some live far longer. The most remarkable story is that of Foster, believed to be the oldest black rhinoceros ever recorded. She lived to the age of 57, a living testament to the quality of life this crater can provide. Foster was never raised in captivity. She lived free for most of her life, only moved into protective care when age and frailty demanded it. Her story is both a triumph of survival and a reminder of the fragility of this ancient bloodline. Yet the Ngorongoro crater is not only a sanctuary for flamingos and black rhinos. It is also a closed dominion where predators reign. Among them prowls the serval, a medium-sized cat whose body is built with extraordinary proportions. Its long legs, particularly the hind limbs, give it an impressive shoulder height of nearly 60 centimeters, while its light frame, weighing only between 9 and 18 kilograms, makes it swift and agile. Its oversized ears, upright like twin satellite dishes, are tuned with exquisite precision, able to catch the faintest rustle in the tall grass or the slightest stirring beneath damp soil. These remarkable traits make the serval one of the most efficient hunters in the entire cat family. In the ever-whispering grasslands of Ngorongoro, this elusive cat has perfected its hunting craft. Moving silently through the cover of tall grasses, it freezes the moment prey is detected, often rodents, ground birds, or small snakes, its whole body attuned to the tiniest scratch beneath the earth. Then, in a sudden burst, its spring-like legs launch it into the air, cutting off escape with astonishing speed. With the longest legs in proportion to body size among all cats, a serval can leap 2 meters high to snatch birds from flight or strike down upon a snake within reach. Their hunting success rate, nearly 50%, far surpasses that of lions or leopards. An adult serval may consume, on average, 4,000 rodents, 260 snakes, and 130 birds in a single year, a natural regulator, keeping small animal populations in balance. They are most active in the cool hours of dawn and dusk, when rodents and small birds emerge to forage. But for mothers raising young, the rhythm shifts. By hunting more in daylight, they reduce the risk of dangerous encounters with the dominant predators of the crater, lions among them. As the sun sinks beyond the rim of the crater, deep roars roll across the land, echoing against the sheer cliffs. It is more than just the sound of territory. It is a declaration of supremacy, the voice of the lion, apex hunter of the Ngorongoro crater. Recent surveys record their numbers at just 70 individuals, divided among 8 prides. That means a density of up to 25 lions per 100 square kilometers, several times higher than the vast plains of the Serengeti or even Kruger. But here, the males stand out even more, formidable figures crowned with heavy, dark manes. A lion's mane is shaped by genetics, hormones, and climate. Males with darker, sometimes jet-black manes carry higher levels of testosterone, enjoy greater reproductive success, and often live longer lives than their lighter-maned rivals. In Ngorongoro, more than 60% of adult males bear this dark crown. And in struggles for dominance, the black mane confers both a physical advantage and the favor of lionesses. But history has left its mark on this population. In 1962, an outbreak of biting flies nearly wiped the lions from the crater. Only a dozen survivors remained, and from this tiny remnant, the present population was rebuilt. The genetic bottleneck left them with far less diversity than neighboring Serengeti lions, and within the crater's limited territory, where prey is abundant and prides live close together, the pressure for dominance burns hotter than almost anywhere else. When 2 males meet at the boundary of their ranges, there is no retreat. Their roars shake the air, announcing the clash to come. Thick, dark manes shield their throats, both a display of power and a defense against crushing bites. Then they collide, 180 kilograms of muscle slamming together, claws tearing the earth. White fangs flashing for the kill. The battle is not only for land, it is for bloodlines, for the right to hold the pride, for the very legacy of strength. In Ngorongoro, the victor claims territory and breeding rights. The defeated is cast out of the social order. While males defend the pride's borders, it is the lionesses who carry the burden of the hunt. Moving in small, disciplined groups, they weave through tall grasses and roll with the terrain, inching closer to their prey. Across Africa, lion hunts succeed less than 1 in 3 times. But here, in the fertile bowl of Ngorongoro, prides can push that success to nearly 40%. Their skills honed across generations, sharpened by abundance, and bound by the power of cooperation. In the fading light, as tall grasses still radiate the warmth of day, a fierce standoff unfolds. A pride of lions has just brought down a zebra. But before they can feast, silent shapes gather at the edges. Spotted hyenas, not one, but many. Their quick steps make no sound. Eyes glimmer in the dusk. Then comes the shrill laughter, a chilling chorus that rises like a challenge. In Ngorongoro, the confrontation between these two apex predators is as old as memory itself. Here, in this closed arena, where encounters are always face-to-face, the rivalry burns fiercer than ever. With numbers ranging from nearly 400 to close to 500 individuals, the spotted hyena is the most abundant carnivore of the crater. Recent surveys confirm at least 8 clans thrive here, some with as many as 80 members within territories no larger than 40 square kilometers. At such density, clashes with lions can occur almost daily. Raw strength belongs to the lion, but strategy and numbers belong to the hyena. Confrontations begin with watchful distance, escalate to encirclements, isolations, and at times, raids on lionesses when males are away. Lions retaliate in kind, killing hyena pups or lone wanderers when the chance arises. This cycle of conflict has shaped the very balance of Ngorongoro, where the strongest does not always prevail. Unlike solitary hunters, hyenas thrive through organization. Each clan is a tightly run matriarchal society. The alpha female reigns supreme, and rank is inherited by her daughters. Males, once grown, are exiled, forced to leave their birth clan and seek acceptance elsewhere. This dispersal prevents inbreeding in the crater's confined world. Such structure grants stability across generations. Strict hierarchy, disciplined food sharing, and cooperative teamwork in both hunts and defense make the hyena a formidable power, never to be underestimated. The Ngorongoro Hyena Project, one of the longest-running wildlife studies on Earth, has tracked more than 2,800 individuals across 9 generations, revealing the complexities of their society. Males do not disperse randomly. They often seek clans where a brother, cousin, or peer has already joined, improving their chances of survival and reproduction. It is a testament to social choice and awareness rarely seen among predators. Their communication is equally sophisticated. a language of giggles, hisses, whoops, and deep, resonant growls. Through these voices, clans coordinate hunts, summon allies, or rally to defend their kill. Far beyond the reputation of scavenger, the spotted hyena is an ecological architect, shaping the crater's balance through hunting, competition, and the recycling of life. In this closed system, their laughter is not just the sound of rivalry, but the echo of resilience, the heartbeat of an ecosystem both fragile and profound. If you want to live within this sealed wilderness, would you choose the order of a hyena clan, bound by the stability of matriarchy, or the might of a lion pride, driven by alliances and by force of power? The ferocity within Ngorongoro crater is but one fragment of the grand canvas of East Africa's wild heart. Just beyond its rim, to the north, the Serengeti stretches outward, an endless ocean of grass, rolling to the horizon in waves of gold and green. From afar, the ground itself seems to tremble, the thunder of millions of hooves beating like ancient war drums, announcing the rise of a spectacle unlike any other. This is no ordinary gathering of beasts. It is one of the last true wonders of our living world, the Great Migration. Each year, between 1.5 to 2 million wildebeest surge forward, joined by more than 200,000 zebras, 500,000 gazelles, and tens of thousands of eland. Together, they embark on a journey that spans more than 800 kilometers, tracing the vast Serengeti Mara ecosystem in a cycle without beginning, without end. Their movements are not random. They follow the pulse of nature itself. Brief rains that spark fresh shoots across the plains. Rivers revived by waters spilling down from the Ngorongoro highlands. The scent of renewal carried on the wind. The herds march to that rhythm, as if bound to a song older than memory, a song that dictates survival. If the Great Migration is a grand symphony, then the Serengeti is its orchestra, the vast stage upon which every note of life is struck, where abundance rises and falls in endless cycles of birth, death, and renewal. Across more than 14,000 square kilometers of sweeping northern Tanzania, life does not merely endure, it explodes in abundance, unmatched anywhere else on Earth. The very name Serengeti, drawn from the Maasai word Serengeti, means endless plains. A vision not only of space without measure, but of movement without rest, a ceaseless tide of life flowing over the land. When the rains fade and the southern highlands begin to clear, the Ndutu region near the Ngorongoro Conservation Area becomes the birthplace of this great march. Here, soils layered with volcanic ash over thousands of years have forged a foundation rich in minerals, potassium, calcium, and silica, that nourishes the grasses. These pastures provide the perfect recovery ground, allowing grazing herds to replenish their bodies after the long, grueling journeys that will once again carry them forward. This is where the eternal cycle begins anew, in the endless plains of the Serengeti, where nature's greatest orchestra never ceases to play. In this region, the grasses grow with astonishing speed, fueled by soils that hold nutrient levels more than 25% higher than the neutral Earth farther north. It is for this reason that from January through March, the great herds converge here, wildebeest by the hundreds of thousands, zebras in their striking stripes, and gazelles in vast numbers, all drawn to the abundance of life. At the very front of this movement stride the herds of Grant's zebra, leaders of the migration's flow, as if an ancient memory were etched into every step of their journey. Unlike the wildebeest, they do not rely solely on the scent of rain, nor do they wait for the pressure of sheer numbers to push them onward. Instead, they travel by memory, a biological map imprinted across generations. They recall paths to water, routes of survival, and even landscapes of danger. In this way, Grant's zebra have become irreplaceable guides of the crossing. Within the Serengeti Mara ecosystem, around 200,000 of these zebras join the annual odyssey. Physically, they differ from the wildebeest they lead. Strong and sturdy, Grant's zebras weigh between 220 and 300 kilograms, stretching up to 2.5 meters in body length, with shoulders rising to about 1.2 meters. They are the smallest of zebra subspecies, yet what they lack in size they more than make up for in endurance. Endurance powerful enough to spearhead the greatest migration on Earth. Their black and white stripes do more than dazzle the eye or blur them into the landscape. These patterns help regulate body temperature, enabling the zebra to withstand the relentless heat of the tropical plains. Their social fabric is equally remarkable. Each small herd is anchored by a dominant male, surrounded by several females, a structure that forges stability, protects the young, and strengthens the herd's ability to move as one when danger strikes. As pioneers of the migration, Grant's zebras perform a vital ecological role. They are the first to graze, consuming the tall, coarse grasses that few other herbivores will touch. Their digestive systems are finely tuned to break down tough cellulose, extracting energy even when nutrition is scarce. And in doing so, they reveal what lies beneath, the tender, mineral-rich shoots that wildebeest crave most. It is here, in this simple act of feeding, that one of the great unspoken partnerships of the migration takes shape. The zebra clears the way, the wildebeest follows, and together, in silent cooperation, they sustain one another across the endless plains. While Grant's zebras set the pace of the Great Migration, it is the blue wildebeest that carry out one of the most extraordinary birthing events on Earth. Each year, 500,000 calves are born in just a matter of weeks between February and March, an average of nearly 8,000 new lives emerging every single day. This synchronized wave of birth is no accident. It is a finely tuned survival strategy. Overwhelming predators like lions, hyenas, and cheetahs, who can only claim a fraction of the vast surge of newborns. For a brief window of time, life outnumbers death. But once the season of abundance passes and the fresh grasses are grazed down to stubble, the soil begins to crack under the first burning sun of summer. This is when the true march of the wildebeest begins. No other mammal dominates the migration as they do, numbering between 1.5 and nearly 2 million. Their collective presence dwarfs every other species on the move. Medium in build, wildebeest weigh between 180 and 250 kilograms, standing less than 1.5 meters tall. Their bodies may seem unremarkable, but inside lies a digestive system perfectly adapted for speed and efficiency, allowing them to draw energy from tender young grasses in a way few others can. This dependence makes them the eternal followers of rain. A wildebeest can sense rainfall from as far as 50 kilometers away, guiding the herds toward grasslands newly reborn by the seasonal showers. Yet what truly sets them apart is the absence of a leader. There is no call, no command, only instinct. The herd flows forward like a single body, moving through a phenomenon biologists call swarm intelligence. Their collective decisions are shaped by inherited memory, instinct, and body language. When one small group begins to move, others follow, like a chain of falling dominoes. What appears to be chaos is, in truth, a fluid and coordinated order, an unspoken unified mind. Beyond survival, wildebeest are silent engineers of the ecosystem. By cropping grasses short, they stimulate fresh growth. Their dung, rich in nitrogen, replenishes the soil. Their relentless movement creates a rhythm of graze, rest, and regrowth that nourishes life at every scale, from invisible microbes to the continent's greatest predators. By mid-year, the herds face their most perilous challenges. Rivers rise to become nature's deadliest barriers. At the Grometi River, when weary calves pause to drink, temptation is met with danger. Once the first plunge is taken, the rest follow in a panicked surge. Beneath the murky surface, Nile crocodiles, giants that have waited for months, explode into action. Some wildebeest are dragged beneath the water. Others freeze in terror as companions vanish beside them. In these moments, survival is reduced to chance. By July, the herds push northward into higher ground. The Serengeti opens wide, drier now, its skies vast above granite copies, rising like ancient sentinels from seas of grass. Lion prides lie in wait, using the rocky vantage points to track the endless columns of prey. The grasses here are thinner, but tougher, rich in cellulose, enough to sustain the herds through the long marches ahead. But by August, the Mara River transforms everything. Unlike the Grometi, the Mara is deeper, swifter, and far more treacherous. Its steep rocky banks funnel thousands into narrow choke points where fear collides with desperation. Here, one of the wild's greatest dramas unfolds. Tens of thousands of wildebeest cry out, pressing forward in a frenzy, their bodies shoving against one another as they leap into the churning waters below. Crocodiles lie waiting. Panic spreads. The air trembles with the thunder of hooves, the screams of the herd, and the roar of the river. It is here, in this crucible of survival, that the migration reveals its rawest spectacle, life and death entangled in a struggle without end. In these rivers, giants lurk. Adult Nile crocodiles here average between 3.5 and 5 meters in length, with the most dominant individuals stretching up to 6 meters and weighing more than 700 kilograms. Their bodies are living fortresses, built of dense muscle and wrapped in rugged, keratinized armor, able to withstand crushing impacts. Beneath that hide lies another layer of defense. Tiny bony plates, known as osteoderms, transforming these reptiles into true biological tanks of the water. Their colors, shades of gray-brown and olive-green with a pale underbelly, blend perfectly with the mud and the shimmering surface light, making them nearly invisible. On land they seem slow, almost lethargic, but in the water they are precision itself. Their tails, nearly half their body length, act as immense paddles, propelling them forward in a sudden burst, then holding them motionless as they wait. With eyes, ears, and nostrils positioned high on the skull, they remain almost fully submerged, watching everything above the surface while revealing nothing of themselves below. thirsty wildebeest, stepping down to drink, rarely realizes it has entered the strike zone of a predator honed by evolution for the art of ambush. Every feature of the crocodile's anatomy serves this purpose. Long, conical jaws, lined with 64 to 68 dagger-like teeth, sharp and endlessly replaced, clamp with one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom, enough to crush bone with ease. But these hunters do not chew. They seize, drag their victim beneath the water, and unleash the devastating death roll, a spinning maneuver that rips flesh and ends the struggle in seconds. When the migration reaches the Mara River, it is the crocodile season of plenty. Tens of thousands of wildebeest throw themselves into the current in a single day. The crocodiles do not need to chase. They choose their position, hold their ground, and wait for prey to deliver itself. Only a handful of the largest individuals make most of the kills, remembering the exact crossing points where success has come before. But the wildebeest have their own advantage, sheer numbers. The more that leap together, the greater the survival rate for each. Though thousands perish in the jaws of the river's hidden giants, the overwhelming flood of bodies ensures the survival of the herd. If they make it through, they reach the promised land, the Masai Mara, with its endless fields of lush green grass. Here, from August to October, the herds finally rest. They graze and regain their strength, preparing for the next chapter of their journey. This is also when the wildebeest enter their breeding season, ensuring that the cycle of life, peril, and migration will begin anew. The Masai Mara is not only a refuge for the herds, it is also a paradise for predators. Lions roam here in extraordinary numbers. Their population in the reserve estimated at around 850 individuals. Leopards, elusive and solitary, thrive at a density of 6 to 10 animals per 100 square kilometers. And the plains echo with the calls of spotted hyenas, whose clans can swell to as many as 60 members. This concentration of hunters makes the Mara one of nature's most relentless battlegrounds. Day and night, hunts unfold in an endless cycle, predators testing their instincts against the will of prey determined to survive. Among them is a shadow that slips between thickets and riverine forest, the leopard. Unlike the lions that rely on the collective strength of a pride, or the hyenas that overwhelm with numbers, the leopard follows a rhythm all its own, quiet, precise, and fiercely independent. In the chaos of migration, it becomes the embodiment of stillness, an apparition that appears only when it chooses. A leopard is a marvel of evolutionary design. Weighing between 30 and 60 kilograms, it is powerful enough to drag a wildebeest calf more than its own weight high into the branches. Strong neck muscles and muscular forelimbs allow it to hoist its prize out of reach of scavengers, turning the treetops into private larders. Unlike predators that depend on the seasonal flood of prey, the leopard survives by adaptability. From rodents, birds, and fish to gazelles, impalas, even young zebras, Almost anything can fall victim when timing is perfect. This flexibility allows it to endure lean months, making it a master of survival rather than a gambler on abundance. Yet despite their resilience, leopards remain ghosts of the landscape. Rarely seen, they leave behind only a faint paw print in the damp earth, or a blood stain on the bark of an acacia. Around 50 individuals are thought to live in the reserve, with the greatest numbers hidden in the conservancies and forested riversides. Their true advantage lies not in brute strength or speed, but in patience. They do not rush into the torrent of migrating herds. Instead, they move along the edges, watching the weak, the young, the stragglers, waiting for the one mistake that will expose a victim. A female leopard crouches low in the grass, her muscles coiled, her spotted coat dissolving into the shadows. Step by silent step, she closes the gap. Her keen eyes track every twitch of her target, her padded paws muting her approach. When the distance shrinks to a mere 5 meters, she strikes. A blur of motion, a burst of speed, a crushing bite to the throat. The gazelle struggles for moments only, before falling limp in her jaws. But the hunt does not end with the kill. To keep her prize safe, she drags the carcass into cover, away from prowling hyenas that would rob her in an instant. For the leopard, survival is not just in the chase, it is in the ability to vanish, to hold on to victory, and to live another day unseen. To truly grasp the drama of the hunt, we must turn our gaze to the prey, the Thomson's gazelle. Though it moves with the Great Migration, this delicate antelope follows its own subtle path. It prefers the tender regrowth of grasses, the ultra-short shoots that sprout fresh after the wildebeest has stripped the land bare. In doing so, the gazelle becomes the final grazer, the last filcher of the grasslands. Their numbers are smaller, around 500,000 strong, and their journeys shorter. Many herds never complete the vast loop into the Masai Mara, instead settling within the Serengeti. For some, even the dramatic crossings of the Mara River are avoided, as smaller groups choose safer routes that steer clear of fast-moving water. What they lack in size, they make up for with one of nature's most potent weapons, speed. Adults are capable of reaching 80 to 94 kilometers an hour, outpacing nearly all other antelopes of their size. More importantly, they can hold that pace far longer, sometimes even outlasting the lightning burst of the cheetah. For them, survival lies not in the fastest sprint, but in sheer endurance. Often the chase ends not in death, but in a blur of dust across the savannah, the gazelle vanishing into the horizon with stamina unmatched. And yet they do not rely on speed alone. Their signature behavior, starting, bounding high into the air with stiff, straight legs, sends a clear message. It warns the herd of danger, but it also broadcasts to predators, "I am strong, I can outrun you, choose another target." Life on the open plains leaves no place to hide. Instead, Thomson's gazelles have evolved exceptional senses, keen eyesight to detect the slightest movement, sharp hearing, and an acute sense of smell to catch danger carried on the wind. Within the herd, vigilance is amplified. Alarm calls, flashes of white rumps, and visual signals, weaving together into a network of awareness that allows survival against overwhelming odds. But even the sharpest senses cannot shield them completely. As grazers, they play a critical role in shaping the ecosystem, trimming and renewing the land. And as prey, They are vital to predators, most crucially to the cheetah, whose very survival depends on the availability of small antelopes like the tommy. Under the burning sun of the Mara, the ground quakes with the thunder of Wildebeest, a living tide racing across the plains. Yet within this chaos, another drama unfolds, quieter, faster, and infinitely more intense. The chase of the gazelle has begun. The cheetah does not stalk from the shadows. It stands boldly in the full light of day, its body coiled tight like a drawn bowstring, every muscle primed for release. Its amber eyes lock on a single gazelle grazing at the herd's fragile edge, a Thompson's gazelle, small, swift, and unaware of the danger now upon it. Then, in an instant, the silence shatters. The cheetah explodes forward, a blur of muscle and dust, its acceleration unmatched in the animal kingdom. In less than 20 seconds, it surges to 120 kilometers per hour, the fastest speed ever recorded on land. Each stride launches the cat 7 to 8 meters across the grassland, its spine flexing like a whip, its long tail twisting like the rudder of a ship to carve sharp turns through the air. But the gazelle is no easy prey. It reacts in a heartbeat, zigzagging with instinctive precision, its slender legs flashing in a desperate dance for survival. What looks like panic is in fact strategy. Every swerve, every sharp cut, an attempt to exhaust the predator, to outlast the lightning burst. Second by second, the two blaze across the open plain. Nothing between them but speed, stamina, and raw instinct. The earth trembles beneath the chase. Dust swirls in the golden light. And then, a final lunge, a collision of fur and bone. The gazelle falls, the dust rises, and fate is sealed in a space of a heartbeat. For the cheetah, survival is measured in precision, not power. With its light frame and poor defenses, it avoids the night when lions and hyenas patrol the darkness. Instead, it hunts at the bookends of the day, in the cool of morning or the fading glow of evening. Times when the heat is bearable, the light is soft, and the competition has yet to stir, or has already begun to tire. Cheetahs themselves live lives as varied as the savannah. Females roam alone, raising their cubs in solitude, forever on the move to shield them from prowling predators. Males, however, often find strength in numbers. They form coalitions, tight-knit brotherhoods that work together to hunt, to patrol, and to defend sprawling territories. One coalition, known as the Tono Bora, stunned researchers by bringing down adult wildebeest, an extraordinary feat for a predator built for smaller prey. And yet, for all its brilliance, the cheetah lives precariously close to the edge. Every hunt is costly, burning energy reserves in seconds. After such explosive effort, the cat must rest, panting heavily, vulnerable. It is then that the true struggle begins, for lions, hyenas, and even leopards often arrive to steal the prize. In the Masai Mara, cheetahs lose as much as half their kills to stronger rivals, forcing them to hunt nearly every day just to endure, just to feed their young. Here, in the theater of the Great Migration, life and loss are constant companions. Each year, more than 250,000 wildebeest never return, their bodies feeding predators, scavengers, and the very soil itself. Yet it is this endless cycle of death and renewal that sustains the grasslands. Herds clear the plains as they graze, their droppings enriching the soil, stimulating new growth. The savanna remains open and fertile, a living canvas for both predator and prey. Where the wildebeest go, others follow. Birds like oxpeckers and cattle egrets feast on the insects stirred by hooves. When the herds pass, dung beetles, microbes, and seeds carry on the work, decomposing, renewing, and planting the future. The entire ecosystem turns, gear by gear, powered by migration itself. And in all this movement, there is no script, no rehearsal. Each creature, from the smallest insect to the fastest cat, plays its irreplaceable role in a living symphony, at times chaotic, at times harmonious, but always profoundly alive. If the Great Migration captivates with its sheer abundance, a living river of antelope flowing endlessly across the plains, then Kilimanjaro, our final Tanzanian wonder, leaves its mark in an entirely different way. It speaks not with numbers but with height and solitude. Rising alone above the vast open savanna, Kilimanjaro commands the horizon. At 5,895 meters, it is Africa's tallest mountain and the tallest freestanding peak in the world, a stratovolcano that belongs to no range, a solitary sentinel standing watch over East Africa. Scientists know it was born of three ancient volcanic cones, Kibo, Mwenzi, and Shira. Kibo, the highest and youngest, still slumbers as a dormant volcano, its core quiet but not without the faint possibility of fire one day stirring again. Mwenzi, jagged and dramatic, is long extinct, its summit a craggy crown etched by time. Shira, once mighty, has been weathered down into a broad plateau at nearly 4,000 meters, a windswept stage where sky and earth stretch into infinity. But Kilimanjaro's story is not just written in stone, it is told in life. Across its slopes, climates shift with astonishing speed, stacking ecosystems vertically in a way few places on Earth can rival. In just a few days' climb, one can journey from the heat of the equator to conditions that mirror the Arctic. Scientists often describe it as walking from the tropics to the poles, step by step. At over 5,000 meters, the summit of Kibo belongs to ice. Snow and glaciers crown the peak, lingering year-round in silent defiance of the equatorial sun. The world here is hushed, brittle, and white, an environment that feels more like the poles than Africa. Between 4,000 and 5,000 meters, the landscape changes abruptly. The air thins to just 60% of sea level's pressure, winds howl, and the dark volcanic rock resembles the surface of another planet. Life is pared down to almost nothing. Only mosses and lichens cling stubbornly to the stone. Lower still, between 2,800 and 4,000 meters, the mountain breathes life back into its slopes. Strange primeval plants rise from alpine meadows, towering groundsels more than 6 meters tall. Tropical rainforest wraps around its base like a living cloak, dripping with over 1,200 species of plants and echoing with the calls of hundreds of birds. In this dense canopy, crowned eagles rule from above, their wings sweeping over a world alive with color and sound. Kilimanjaro is at once a geological marvel and a sanctuary of life, where stone, ice, and forest rise together in a vertical journey through Earth's climates. It is a mountain apart, an island of sky that seems to touch the heavens. The crowned eagle's very existence is bound to the deep evolutionary story of Africa's raptors, its lineage reaching back millions of years. Ancient DNA tells us that its genetic branch diverged from primitive occipitrid ancestors at least 3 million years ago, carrying forward a legacy of unique traits: an oversized skull, talons that grow to extraordinary proportions, and leg muscles capable of exerting a grip of staggering power. These are not simply echoes of prehistory, but living weapons, honed by time into the perfect tools for silent domination within the forest. Its hunting strategy is a careful marriage of patience and speed. On the mist-veiled slopes of Kilimanjaro, where colossal trees soar toward the clouds, the eagle waits, invisible among the tangled canopy. It lingers in silence, amber eyes glowing like twin flames in the shadows. Every muscle primed for the single explosive moment to come. Below, a troop of colobus monkeys makes its way through the branches, their striking black and white coats rippling like silk in the shifting sunlight. They move with calm assurance, relying on height, agility, and long practice to shield them from danger. But above them lurks a predator adapted to this very world, with wings spanning nearly 2 meters, broad yet agile enough to weave effortlessly between trunks and branches. The crowned eagle can move in complete silence, a rare skill among raptors of its size. And when the strike comes, it is devastating. The eagle's talons clamp with a pressure of over 30 kilograms per square centimeter, 30 times the pressure inside a car tire, more than enough to crush bone and bring down a 10-kilogram monkey in a heartbeat. The stillness shatters with a piercing cry, and then the forest erupts. A blur of feathers and fury plunges from the canopy at speeds exceeding 160 kilometers an hour, threading through branches with lethal precision. A young monkey glances upward, just in time to see the strike, a flash of steel talons locking tight around its body, hoisting it skyward in a violent rush of wings. One scream echoes through the forest, then falls into silence. Panic tears through the troop, bodies scatter in every direction, leaping desperately to branches beyond reach. But it is too late for the fallen. The crowned eagle has claimed its prize, and the shadow of its rule lingers long after it has vanished into the canopy. As one descends the slopes of Kilimanjaro, reaching altitudes between 800 and 1,800 meters, the mountain reveals a gentler face, where people and wildlife move in quiet harmony. At its base, where low clouds brush the ridges and the line between Kenya and Tanzania blurs into abstraction, African elephants walk their ancient paths. Their steady footsteps press into the red earth, marking trails that long predate borders or fences. They are wanderers, unbound by human boundaries, cross-border nomads who follow the timeless call of land and season. The elephants of Kilimanjaro live by rhythm, not by fixed territories. Their journeys weave between Amboseli National Park in Kenya and the forested slopes of Kilimanjaro National Park in Tanzania, forming an invisible corridor that unites two ecosystems into a single living whole. In this shared space, their movements forge a biological bridge, stitching together habitats that might otherwise stand apart. When the rains come, they spread across Amboseli's floodplains, feeding in abundance. But when the dry season grips the land, they climb the slopes of Kilimanjaro, seeking food and refuge in the montane forests. These woodlands, rich in clay minerals and bursting with layered plant life, become vital lifelines when the plains grow barren. Migration here is not locked to a calendar, but guided instead by rainfall, by the greening of grass, and by the pulse of vegetation that dictates survival. Among them walk giants, the great tuskers. Their immense ivory nearly brushes the ground, relics of a genetic heritage that has all but disappeared elsewhere in Africa. Scientists studying these herds have found rare genetic variations linked to rapid tusk growth, heightened immunity, and even exceptional longevity. The presence of legends like Big Tim speaks to the survival of an ancient bloodline still carried quietly within this landscape. Yet elephants are more than icons. They are ecosystem engineers, reshaping the land as they move. By breaking shrubs and toppling trees, they carve pathways that other creatures follow. Bushbuck, warthog, duiker, even leopards that stalk in their wake. As they feed on fruits and foliage, They gather seeds in passing, carrying them across vast distances and returning them to the soil through their dung. In the forests at Kilimanjaro's base, as much as 30% of tree species depend on elephants for dispersal, especially those bearing large fruits that no smaller animal can manage. Here their role deepens still further. Kilimanjaro's elephants have been seen climbing steep slopes, mining minerals from the earth itself. With tusks and trunks, they dig into clay-rich soil, unearthing sodium and trace elements that replenish their bodies. In doing so, they create natural salt licks, open to all, their excavations becoming resources for countless other animals in need of vital nutrients. This remarkable act of self-regulation ties the mountain's habitats together, blending geology, biology, and survival into a single thread. For the Chaga people, Kilimanjaro is more than land, it is spirit. They believe the clouds that forever crown its summit are the dwelling place of their ancestors, and the waters that flow from its slopes are gifts from God. To them, the mountain rises not only as a landmark of stone, but as a sacred meeting place between earth and the divine. Kilimanjaro itself stands like a vision of eternity, rising from the savannah in defiance of gravity, weather, and time. Like a biblical Sinai, it is a place where humanity looks upward and glimpses the eternal, where nature and spirit remain forever entwined. Beneath the water's surface, a hidden world thrives, a rich aquatic ecosystem that supports dozens of native fish species. These fish sustain some of the delta's most formidable residents, feeding the Nile crocodile with its armored stealth and the mighty hippopotamus, both enduring symbols of the delta's raw, untamed power. Unlike the crocodile, which drifts silently with the current, or the otter that slips easily through mud and reeds, the hippo carves its own path. Each night, step by deliberate step, it rises from its deep water refuge and makes its way onto land in search of food. Over the years, this relentless routine has etched permanent tracks into the landscape. Known as hippo highways, these underwater trails are pressed into existence by thousands of heavy footfalls, compressing the soft mud into firm pathways, and in time, even reshaping the natural flow of water itself. What began as simple routes of nightly passage has, over generations, grown into a living network of channels. These trails connect shallow pools and far-off marshes to the delta's beating heart, functioning like capillaries in a vast organism. They allow water to spread, to circulate even through the parched months, holding moisture in the soil and sustaining habitats that countless other species depend upon. Recent satellite studies and ground surveys from 2024 reveal the true scale of this engineering. Thanks to these hidden hippo highways, tributary zones across the Okavango still hold water well into October, the height of the dry season. It is the hippo's quiet labor that channels the river outward, feeding wetlands that would otherwise fade away. But their influence does not stop with water. Each night, a single hippo grazes heavily, consuming between 30 and 40 kilograms of soft grasses along the floodplains. Once their bellies are full, they return to the water to cool their massive bodies beneath the surface, away from the punishing sun. There, they release huge amounts of waste, natural fertilizer rich in nitrogen and phosphorus, that fuels explosions of algae and plankton, sparking the very foundation of the delta's food web. As the dry season deepens, the vast expanse of the Okavango shrinks to a scatter of shallow waterholes, their edges cracked and fading. These last pools become battlegrounds. From the distance, a pride of lions approaches, driven by thirst and the merciless heat. But to drink, they must challenge the undisputed ruler of the waters. The hippo rises, jaws yawning open like a stone gate, its tusks gleaming sharp as blades. This is not an invitation, it is a warning. Without water, the hippo cannot endure. Its bulk depends on immersion to regulate temperature, its skin too sensitive to withstand the scorching sun. Left exposed, it cracks, bleeds, and invites infection. Without hours submerged in water or mud, hippos dehydrate quickly, their bodies overheating as even their hearts and lungs strain under the sun's assault. That is why, when the last pools vanish, hippos are forced to march across dry land in search of refuge, their tempers rising with their desperation. At the edge of one shrinking pool, lions gather, their manes bristling, their bodies tense with hunger and thirst. But the hippo lunges forward, swinging open its gaping jaws, tusks nearly half a meter long. A single bite could crush the bones of a buffalo. With one powerful thrust of its head, dust erupts into the air, and the pride retreats, yielding the pool to its rightful master. Yet here, control of water is never the story of one beast alone. Lions, too, crave dominance with equal ferocity. Their prides rule the banks like shadows, turning every approach to the water's edge into a gamble of survival. Unlike lion populations in drier regions such as the Serengeti or Etosha, the lions of the Okavango must adapt to a world ruled by water. With every flood season, the delta transforms into a labyrinth of channels, islands, and shifting marshes. Small patches of dry ground become temporary strongholds, and moving between hunting grounds demands not only strength, but also the ability to swim. While most big cats instinctively avoid water, the lions here embrace it. They cross wide, deep channels with ease, their powerful shoulders and chests honed by a lifetime of pushing through mud and current. This constant struggle against the water has shaped them into some of the most robust lions in Africa. Males weighing up to 250 kilograms, females averaging nearly 170, among the heaviest recorded anywhere on the continent. Yet size alone is not enough. In an ecosystem where the boundary between land and water shifts with the seasons, the lion's very survival depends on strategy. Hunts unfold not across the open plains, but within tall grasses, flooded marshes, and shifting pools. Their chosen prey is the Cape buffalo, a towering adversary of muscle and horn, often weighing more than 600 kilograms. These giants demand water daily, and when threatened, herds instinctively drive their calves and vulnerable members into deeper water, where their bulk and powerful legs allow them to swim and even counterattack. Many a lion has been stopped cold by a wall of black hide, a unified defense of horns and sheer mass. To succeed, Okavango lions must coordinate with precision. They split into groups, using the terrain itself as a weapon. Mud slows their quarry, reeds conceal their approach, and a surprise attack can erupt from unexpected directions. From the cover of papyrus taller than a man, 3 shadows advance. At the front, a lioness leads, her amber eyes glowing like twin embers in the dusk, flanked by 2 young males close behind. Ahead, a herd of Cape buffalo wades through a shallow marsh, calves hidden within the towering adults, alert but not alarmed. The lioness halts, crouches low. This is not the chaos of a chase, it is the calm precision of an ambush. With silent signals, the pride splits apart. The 2 males surge forward, scattering the herd and driving a cow and her calf away from the protective wall. The mother pivots, charging with deadly force, but one male has already circled wide. He launches onto the calf's back, his claws gripping tight. The mother swings, horns slicing through the air, but the lion twists aside, her calf absorbs the impact. From the flank, another lion buries his teeth deep into the belly, dragging the calf down into the reeds. Mud and water fly as the young buffalo cries out, silenced within moments. Exhausted and outmaneuvered, the mother collapses. The hunt is over. The lioness, architect of the ambush, has led her pride to victory. Here in the Delta, females form the core of every hunt. Yet the Okavango has revealed something even more unusual, a rare biological phenomenon. On occasion, lionesses here exhibit traits usually reserved for males. They grow thicker fur along the neck, roar with dominance, scent-marked territories, and in some cases, even lead the pride. Scientists call them maned lionesses. Though they never grow full manes, their behavior mirrors that of males, a likely result of unusually high testosterone levels. The cause, researchers believe, lies in the genetics of an isolated population, where limited diversity and constant pressure from the environment push individuals to evolve traits that cross the boundaries of male and female roles, creating leaders capable of both hunting and defending. Now, our attention shifts to another predator that thrives through numbers, a hunter whose strength lies not in size or stealth, but in the precision of the pack. More efficient than lions, more coordinated than leopards, they may well be the most successful hunters in all of Africa's wilderness, the African wild dog. In the heart of the Okavango Delta, where land is fleeting and water redraws the landscape with every season, these painted wolves have forged a unique path to survival. They do not rule with the raw power of lions, nor with the solitary cunning of leopards. Instead, they win by connection. Every individual, from the dominant pair to the youngest pup, is a vital link in a living machine built on intelligence, speed, and unwavering teamwork. No one is left behind. No one fights for dominance. The pack itself is the source of their strength. And it is this unity that allows them to achieve a hunting success rate of up to 80%, an unrivaled figure in the animal kingdom. Their very bodies tell the story of efficiency. Light and lean, weighing no more than 30 kilograms, they are built for endurance, not brute force. Long legs and deep chests drive them forward mile after mile, while proportionally large hearts keep their stamina burning where other predators would falter. Unlike leopards, whose hunts hinge on a short burst of speed, wild dogs employ a strategy of pressure and persistence, chasing until their quarry has no escape left to offer. But here in the Okavango, the challenge is unlike anywhere else. Floodwaters carve the land into scattered islands, creating both obstacles and opportunities. Though these hunters prefer dry trails to the uncertainty of water, the delta leaves them no choice but to adapt. Riverbanks become natural ambush sites. Trails through reeds become silent hunting paths. Ahead, a red lekwe moves through the marsh, its long hind legs propelling it swiftly across the swampy terrain. Perfectly suited to the wetlands, the antelope seems to glide through the shallows. But today, the water is both ally and enemy. The dogs fan out in silence, circling as though guided by an invisible blueprint. The lekwe bolts, mud exploding beneath its hooves. Seconds later, sharp teeth clamp onto a hind leg, pulling it off balance. Another dog lunges, striking for the throat. The end is swift, clean and quiet, only the sound of water settling and the faint rustle of reeds disturbed by the struggle. Soon silence falls again, broken only by the soft, wet tearing of flesh beneath the morning mist. Yet the true power of the wild dog lies not only in how it hunts, but in how it cares. Unlike the constant rivalry of lions or the tense hierarchies of hyenas, wild dogs live by a different code. After the hunt, the adults feed first to restore their strength, but almost immediately they return to the den, where food is shared with pups, with the injured, with the old. This deep sense of communal care binds the pack tighter than any dominance hierarchy ever could. But the Okavango is never without rivals. As the dogs feed, a low rustle stirs the reeds. A solitary hyena emerges, drawn by the metallic scent of blood. Its hulking frame creeps forward, jaws wide, growling. A sharp bark shatters the quiet, then another. In a heartbeat, 3 wild dogs leap forward, charging with a speed the heavier scavenger cannot match. The hyena lashes out, snapping, but each time it tries to climb the bank, the pack drives it back. striking from different angles, nipping at its flanks, forcing it into the shallows. Outnumbered and outpaced, the intruder retreats. This land is not its own. For the wild dogs, territory is more than hunting ground. It is home. It is sanctuary. It is the cradle of the next generation. A single pack may command an area stretching hundreds of kilometers, a shifting realm of grassland, swamp, and forest. Within it lie the dens where pups are born, where bonds are reinforced, and where every hunt ends with food carried home. Not just to feed the family, but to remind each member of the unbreakable ties that hold the pack together. The African savanna is where the strength and fragility of seasonal wildlife movements are most vividly displayed. Here, vast grasslands stretch endlessly, where the land and sky echo the eternal rhythm of fire, rain, and renewal. Let us first explore seasonal migration, the most easily recognized form of animal movement. Creatures follow the rains, chasing lush promised lands to call home. Seasonal migration is defined as the yearly, cyclical movement of animals in response to shifts in climate, food, and water availability. It takes place along fixed routes, repeating each year, sometimes covering thousands of kilometers. Ecologists call it seasonal migration because it is tied to the seasons, predictable, cyclical, and constant. This great behavior is driven by one force above all: the contrast between the wet and dry seasons. In the wet season, when water is plentiful and vegetation bursts to life after the first rains, herds spread wide to graze across the flourishing plains. But when the dry season arrives, when the soil hardens and grasses wither, they retreat to wetter refuges, swamps, rivers, lakes, and even hidden pools beneath forest canopy. In Kruger National Park, South Africa, GPS studies reveal that buffalo travel an average of 3 to 4 kilometers each day. In Ruaha, Tanzania, the distance rises to more than 4, and by the height of the dry season, nearly 7. On rare occasions, young males have been recorded covering as much as 95 kilometers in just a few days, pushing beyond their herd's usual range in search of richer grazing or water. Their routes shift with rainfall, river levels, and the quality of grass, a flexible strategy perfectly attuned to environmental change. And their strength lies not only in size, but in unity. Unlike elephants, buffalo are not led by a single matriarch. Instead, they decide together. When the time comes to move, adult females rise and orient their bodies toward the direction they favor. Each stance is a vote, and the majority guides the herd. Studies confirm this democratic process, one that keeps herds cohesive, yet adaptable under shifting conditions. Smaller groups often join to form superherds of up to 2,000 individuals. Such gatherings are a formidable defense, a living wall of horns and muscle, with powerful bulls patrolling the edges and calves sheltered safely at the center. Even lions think twice before confronting such an army. Yet not all buffalo migrate. In regions with permanent water and quick-growing grass, many remain resident year-round, while others move seasonally. This pattern, known as partial migration, has been confirmed in the Okavango-Zambezi region and the Caprivi Strip, where both strategies coexist within the same population. Each choice, whether to stay or to move, depends on rainfall, water, and grass. In this balance of movement and stillness, the African buffalo reveals a survival story as intricate as any on the savannah. High above the Londo rangelands, the tiny eagle soars, its wings slicing through the vast sunlit skies. Below, the golden grasslands stretch endlessly, bathed in the warmth of the day. The eagle's plumage, a blend of browns, seamlessly merges with the semi-arid landscape, granting it perfect camouflage, an unseen predator hidden among the dry shrubs and silvery grasses. Its dense feathers provide protection from the scorching heat of the day and the chill of the night, a vital adaptation in a harsh world where only the resilient thrive. From hundreds of feet above, the eagle's sharp eyes scan the land, keenly aware of every subtle movement below. Each glance is a potential strike, its precision unmatched. This predator's power lies not only in its endurance, but also in its remarkable speed. In a swift, almost explosive dive, the tiny eagle plummets toward the earth, targeting small prey, hares, young antelope, with unerring accuracy. Its sharp talons and strong, hooked beak make quick work of its catch. During the dry season, when water and food grow scarce, the eagle's resilience becomes even more evident. It feeds on a varied diet, from rodents and small birds to the remains left behind by other predators. As a vital cleanup specialist, it prevents the spread of disease and sustains the balance of the ecosystem, ensuring that life in the rangelands continues. Under the relentless heat of the midday sun, the white-headed vulture circles high above the land, its keen eyes scanning the earth below for signs of life or death. As a skilled scavenger, it is often one of the first to arrive at a carcass, diving swiftly to claim the remaining soft tissue before larger predators arrive. With remarkable vision that extends far beyond its immediate surroundings, the vulture can cover vast distances in a single day, traveling up to 6 miles in search of food. Its strong wings carry it effortlessly across the vast Londo rangelands, always on the lookout for the next opportunity to feed. Meanwhile, in the higher reaches of the sky, the Ruppel's vulture, also known as the Ruppel's griffin vulture, glides silently, a vigilant guardian of the air. Soaring at breathtaking altitudes, it thrives in the thin air, thanks to a unique lung structure that enables it to endure and survey the land below. At an astounding flight altitude of 37,000 feet, it holds the record as the world's highest flying bird. Ruppel's vultures are social creatures, rarely seen alone. Instead, they gather in large flocks, often congregating around carcasses to share the spoils. This social behavior enhances their ability to locate food and increases their chances of survival in a region where resources are scarce. Their cooperative strength during feeding ensures they can make the most of every opportunity, even in the most challenging conditions. But threats loom on the horizon. The Ruppel's vulture is currently listed as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Amid the blazing heart of northern Namibia, a vast sea of white stretches endlessly beneath the sun, silent, gleaming, and seemingly devoid of life. This is Etosha, a land sculpted by salt and wind, where beauty is born from desolation. When the rains finally arrive, the transformation is nothing short of miraculous. The lifeless pan becomes a shimmering lake, drawing countless flamingos from across southern Africa. For a fleeting moment, The emptiness erupts with color, pink wings reflecting against silver waters, a dance of life that vanishes as quickly as it appears. As night descends, another world awakens. Rhinos, ancient and armored, emerge from the darkness to drink under the pale moonlight, ghosts of a wild Africa that still endures. To the Ovambo people, this is Etosha, the Great White Place. Since 1907, it has stood as one of Africa's oldest sanctuaries, a realm where survival writes its story in dust, salt, and silence. Welcome to Etosha. Welcome to the Great White Wilderness, where life defies the impossible. Often called the crown jewel of Namibia, Etosha National Park is home to 4 of Africa's iconic Big Five: the elephant, lion, leopard, and the critically endangered black rhino. Across the sun-scorched savannah, herds of African elephants roam with deliberate grace, their trunks probing the dry earth for traces of moisture. Lions stalk the dusty plains, their movements silent as they track the faint hoofprints of fleeing antelope. In the tall grasses, leopards remain hidden, still as stone, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. In 2024, Namibia endured its most severe drought in over a century. Across Etosha, waterholes vanished. Hippopotamuses, creatures inseparable from water, were left stranded in drying mud, their skin cracking under the relentless sun. Blue wildebeest and plain zebras pressed onward in endless search of water, their journey guided only by instinct and hope. By early 2025, the rains returned. With them came renewal. Grasslands sprang to life and the park stirred once more. Giraffes, steenbok, and rare species like the black-faced impala seized the opportunity to graze, drawing predators in their wake as Etosha's life cycle began anew. Located in northern Namibia, roughly 500 kilometers from the capital Windhoek, Etosha unfolds as a majestic sanctuary in the heart of southern Africa. By day, the sun scorches the land. By night, the sky unfurls into a tapestry of stars. Spanning over 22,000 square kilometers, Etosha stands as one of the largest and most significant nature reserves on the continent, a vibrant heartbeat in the wilderness south of the Sahara Desert. From May to October, the dry season envelops the park in a harsh, unyielding heat. Dust swirls across the landscape beneath a relentless sun, setting the stage for a timeless cycle of survival that repeats each year in nature's own rhythm. Daytime temperatures frequently soar between 35 and 48 degrees Celsius, creating an intensely arid environment. Natural water sources all but disappear, and even the shallow seasonal pools gradually evaporate under the unforgiving sun, leaving only a handful of scattered waterholes, mostly artificial or sustained by underground springs. As water becomes scarce, herbivores are forced to converge at these remaining oases. Their concentrated presence attracts predators, turning these few watering holes into reluctant battlegrounds. Here, the delicate balance between hunter and hunted plays out in stark contrast, survival and loss intertwined in the unforgiving rhythm of the dry season. During this time, Okavango emerges as a vital refuge, drawing visitors eager to witness the remarkable biodiversity that thrives against the odds in this harsh landscape. Located just 17 kilometers from Anderson Gate, Okavango is famed for its floodlit artificial waterhole, where visitors can observe wildlife around the clock, day and night. The black rhinoceros, with its powerful build, stands up to 1.5 meters tall and weighs around 1,400 kilograms. This formidable creature carries two horns that grow continuously throughout its life. These horns are essential tools for defense and play a crucial role in fierce encounters with rivals. Despite its name, the black rhino's skin is actually ash gray, often appearing brownish from a coating of dust and mud collected during wallowing, a vital behavior that cools the body and wards off parasites in the scorching heat. Unlike the white rhino, which grazes on grass, the black rhino is a browser. It uses a pointed, prehensile upper lip, almost like a finger, to grasp tender leaves and pull them from thorny shrubs. It can survive several days without drinking water directly, extracting much of its moisture from the vegetation it consumes, an essential adaptation in this arid environment. Yet the dry season remains a relentless test. As water evaporates almost completely from the earth, even the smallest rain-fed pools reduce to salt-crusted cracks. Artificial waterholes like the one at Okavango become vital refuges. Here, even the typically solitary black rhino must share space with other wild animals, drawn by the rare presence of water. During the day, the searing heat drives life into the shade, but at night, under the soft glow of floodlights, the silhouette of the black rhino emerges. Its heavy frame moves steadily toward the water, ears flicking attentively, nostrils drawing in the scent of old tracks, a territorial behavior that quietly asserts its claim on this shared sanctuary. As of 2023, Namibia is home to over 2,200 black rhinos, representing more than one-third of the species' global population. Etosha National Park alone holds over 70% of this number. But with such concentration comes a heightened risk of poaching. Despite the protection offered by dedicated rangers, GPS tracking, drones, and even horn trimming to deter illegal hunting, the black rhino faces a threat far greater than nature itself: the relentless greed of humankind. The parched earth of Okavango trembles beneath the heavy, steady steps of a herd of blue wildebeest. Standing about 125 centimeters tall at the shoulder and weighing around 200 kilograms on average, these antelopes possess a strong, muscular build. Their coats shimmer with a deep silvery gray hue, often catching subtle hints of blue in the sunlight, complemented by a long black mane and a thick beard along the chin. Despite their bulky frame, blue wildebeest are surprisingly agile. When threatened, they can reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, a vital adaptation in Etosha, where predators are never far behind. These animals live in herds, ranging from a few dozen to several thousand, a social behavior that plays a crucial role in shaping the unique ecology of Okavango. As specialized grazers, blue wildebeest primarily feed on short grasses that quickly sprout after rainfall. Their digestive systems are finely tuned to extract nutrients from coarse, low-quality vegetation, an essential advantage during the long dry season when food becomes scarce and less nutritious. At Okavango, artificial water holes provide critical lifelines during these harsh months. Wildebeest typically gather at these watering points in the early morning or late afternoon, avoiding the blistering midday heat that can push temperatures above 45 degrees Celsius. Approaching the water in loose formations, their eyes constantly scan the surroundings, ears alert to the faintest sound. Subtle gestures, a flick of the tail, a brief grunt, serve as silent communication, maintaining the herd's cohesion amid the quiet tension of the moment. By grazing steadily and moving frequently in search of fresh grass, blue wildebeest prevent vegetation from becoming overgrown or stale. Their feeding habits encourage new plant growth, enabling the landscape to renew itself with each rainy season. This process supports a diverse array of smaller species, from insects to birds, which thrive in the healthier, more dynamic ecosystem the wildebeest help sustain. Migration is one of the most vital behaviors for blue wildebeest, yet this instinct is increasingly disrupted across much of Africa. Artificial barriers, expanding road networks, and land development have fragmented their habitats. At Etosha, migratory routes still exist, but are becoming more restricted as available living space shrinks. A study published in early 2024 warned that herds confined to smaller areas are showing signs of genetic decline. Loss of genetic diversity poses a serious threat to the species' ability to adapt to future environmental challenges, including prolonged droughts and shifting climate patterns. Often seen moving alongside herds of blue wildebeest, plain zebras make their way steadily toward the scarce water sources scattered across the heart of the savannah. Amid the withered grasses and cracked earth, their presence brings a flowing rhythm to the monochrome landscape of the dry season. Medium-sized among Africa's wild equids, plain zebras stand about 1.3 meters tall at the shoulder and can weigh up to 350 kilograms when fully grown. Their distinctive black and white stripes form a unique pattern for each individual, like a biological fingerprint. These stripes serve multiple purposes. They help regulate body temperature by promoting air circulation and disrupt the visual focus of predators when zebras move together, creating confusion. In Etosha, especially around the Okavango waterhole, plain zebras live in social groups known as harems, small units consisting of one dominant male, several females, and their offspring. These harems often gather to form larger herds, particularly during the dry season, when the urgent need for water and food drives them to travel collectively. Plain zebras are strict grazers, specializing in short grasses that quickly regenerate after rains. Their grazing helps regulate plant biomass by clearing older vegetation, allowing fresh growth to thrive. This behavior is crucial for maintaining the vitality and balance of the shared habitat. Seasonal migration is a defining survival strategy for plain zebras. Depending on climate and grassland conditions, some herds travel up to 1,100 kilometers annually in search of sustenance. However, within Etosha National Park, migration patterns have become less uniform. Scientists have observed partial migration, where only some individuals embark on long journeys, while others remain near permanent water sources, like Okavango. This behavioral split reflects both the species' adaptability and the increasing influence of human-made barriers, fences, roads, and environmental pressures such as disease outbreaks like anthrax, which tend to surge during the dry season. As of early 2025, the wild population of plain zebras is estimated between 150,000 and 250,000 mature individuals. This represents a decline of about 25% since the 1990s, driven primarily by habitat loss and illegal hunting. Although not currently classified as endangered, the species faces mounting challenges. Fragmentation of migration corridors due to urban development and agricultural expansion threatens its long-term recovery, raising concerns among conservationists about the future of these iconic grazers. As herds of plain zebras gather around the shallow waterholes, a lion's gaze locks onto them from the shadows. At Okavango, predator and prey engage in a silent battle of wits, where hunger, thirst, and the searing heat, often soaring above 48 degrees Celsius, become weapons wielded by nature itself. During the dry season, Okavango becomes a crucial crossroads where the cycles of life converge. Prey animals have no choice but to approach the dwindling water sources, drawing both predator and prey into an inevitable confrontation. As the number of animals grows, so does their vigilance. Lionesses adapt their hunting strategy, shifting from pursuit to ambush. They use the low, dry grass, ancient earth mounds, and even the shadows cast by the crescent moon to conceal their presence. One lioness often moves deliberately toward the herd to divert attention, while 2 or 3 others silently circle through the brush, cutting behind the prey and forming a tight arc. Once within striking distance, less than 30 meters, the lionesses crouch low before erupting into a sudden burst of speed. The savanna grass seems to explode into motion as a powerful leap carries the lion onto its target's back, bringing it crashing to the ground. The hunt ends swiftly with a firm bite to the throat. An adult lion, with its powerful build, broad chest, sturdy forelimbs, and razor-sharp teeth, can bring down prey twice its size. Even so, lions in the wild have a relatively low hunting success rate, only about 20 to 25%. A pride must secure several successful kills each week to sustain itself, including the young members who are not yet able to hunt. In the scorching heat of the Namibian desert, lions conserve energy by resting up to 21 hours a day, preparing for the demands of their nocturnal hunts. Unlike most other cats, lions are social animals, living in groups called prides. A typical pride consists of related females, 1 or more adult males, and their offspring. The females maintain the social structure, raise the young, and do most of the hunting. The males, with their iconic thick manes and roars that can carry up to 8 kilometers, use their vocalizations not only to mark territory, but also as a clear warning to potential intruders. Amid the hazy dust of the savannah, the low rumble of a lion's roar echoes through the Okavango night, a solemn reminder that life is a sacred gift. To hold on to it, every creature must fight on, part of a wondrous design woven by the Creator. From nature's perspective, there are no heroes or villains, only instincts divinely given to endure. In the golden light of the late dry season sunset, each step of the African elephant stirs a veil of dust across the semi-arid savanna. These giants, standing up to 4 meters tall at the shoulder and weighing as much as 7.5 tons in adult males, are the largest land animals on Earth. Despite their immense size, they move with quiet majesty. Their wide, fan-shaped ears unfold like sails, while their long, agile trunks can delicately pluck a small branch or draw in dozens of liters of water within seconds. Their curved tusks, iconic and striking, vary in length depending on the mineral content of the soil. In regions like Etosha, where certain minerals are scarce, elephants tend to grow shorter tusks compared to those in eastern or central Africa. Elephants are never solitary on their journey for survival. Each herd is a tightly knit family, led by an older female known as the matriarch. She carries the longest memories, able to recall the locations of seasonal water sources, safe travel routes, and ways to avoid threats from predators and humans. This matriarchal social structure is deeply generational, where survival skills are passed down, not just through instinct, but through learned behavior, memory, and observation. A form of knowledge that transcends basic instinct. During the dry season, the landscape transforms dramatically. As natural waterholes dry up, vegetation withers, and the cracked earth reveals the scarcity of moisture. Elephant herds are forced to travel dozens of kilometers each day in search of water and food. At Okavango, year-round artificial waterholes provide a crucial refuge where herds gather to drink, bathe in mud, and cool themselves, spraying water over their backs or tossing mud to protect their skin from the sun and repel biting insects. The African elephant is a herbivore, consuming up to 150 kilograms of plant matter daily and drinking as much as 100 liters of water. Their diet includes grasses, leaves, bark, and occasionally fallen fruits. With such massive consumption, elephants act as true ecosystem engineers. By breaking shrubs, toppling small trees, and carving pathways through dense vegetation, they create space for other wildlife to thrive. Moreover, seeds that pass through their digestive systems help sustain plant life cycles across the savanna. Unlike migratory species such as antelope or zebra, elephants move in seasonal cycles guided by the matriarch. Her long-term memory enables the herd to revisit water sources from years past, even when the landscape has changed. This knowledge is vital for survival in the ever-shifting environment. While African elephants can live between 60 to 70 years in the wild, their journey is fraught with challenges. Poaching for ivory, habitat loss from human expansion, and conflicts with local communities continue to threaten their populations. As of 2024, estimates suggest between 350,000 and 500,000 African elephants remain in the wild. In Namibia's northwestern regions, including Etosha, focused conservation efforts have helped stabilize elephant numbers. Central to this success are monitoring systems, armed ranger patrols, and conservation infrastructure at key waterholes like Okavango, ensuring these magnificent creatures continue to roam their ancestral lands. Under the searing sun, the cracked ground of Etosha bears the marks of time, as the common ostrich strides confidently between the few remaining waterholes. Though flightless, this extraordinary bird has adapted perfectly to the semi-desert landscape, equipped with long legs, remarkable speed, and exceptional endurance. Standing up to 2.8 meters tall, ostriches rise well above the reach of most predators. When threatened, a powerful kick from their muscular legs can deliver a serious blow to any would-be attacker. Yet their greatest defense lies in speed. Capable of sprinting up to 70 kilometers per hour, ostriches are true long-distance runners of the semi-arid savanna, where the horizon stretches endlessly. Despite their imposing size and defensive abilities, common ostriches rely heavily on group living strategies to increase their chances of survival. During the dry season, they travel in groups ranging from 5 to over 50 individuals, moving together between water sources in search of food and hydration. As omnivores, their diet is diverse, including dry leaves, seeds, roots, insects, and even carrion. When water is scarce, they shift their diet toward moisture-rich plants. Thanks to an exceptionally efficient digestive system, they can go long periods without drinking, extracting and retaining water directly from their food. At Okavango, where precious underground water is pumped into artificial water holes, common ostriches gather alongside other herbivores. This is no place for peaceful rest. It is the center of a quiet struggle for survival, with predators never far away. In this high-stakes environment, the common ostrich is equipped with the largest eyes of any land animal, measuring up to 5 centimeters in diameter. These powerful eyes allow them to detect subtle movements at great distances, often sensing danger long before other species. During the breeding season, their behavior becomes more animated against the backdrop of the parched landscape. Males select open patches of land to perform their signature courtship displays, shaking their heads, stretching their necks, and kicking up clouds of dust with their feet. If accepted, the female lays her eggs in a shallow nest dug by the male directly on the ground. A single nest can hold up to 60 eggs, each weighing around 1.35 kilograms, larger than a baseball. In Etosha's harsh conditions, these eggs become tempting targets for a range of predators. Both male and female take turns guarding the nest, enduring ground temperatures that can soar beyond 50 degrees Celsius. The existence of the common ostrich stands as a testament to remarkable adaptability in the semi-arid savanna. In a world where speed, awareness, and social coordination are key to survival, this bird continues to run for its life, carrying the primal heartbeat of Africa into the future. The waterhole at Hyenas sustains a remarkable diversity of wildlife. Its dense vegetation and rugged terrain create an ideal setting for nocturnal predators on the prowl. Soft lighting, thoughtfully placed around the water's edge, allows visitors to observe these nighttime dramas unfold without disturbing the actors of the wilderness. It offers an intimate and tranquil safari experience at the heart of Etosha's wild expanse. After the soft, fading footsteps of the greater kudu at dusk, the air grows still. So still that even the gentle fall of leaves seems to echo across the pale limestone plains of Hyenas. It is in this breathless silence that the leopard appears. A master predator, cloaked in shadows, it moves like a whisper, eyes locked on the faintest movement. What follows is not a chase, but a standoff. A silent battle between instinct and survival, where the fragile tension between hunter and prey is etched into every second of stillness. With males weighing between 30 and 72 kilograms, and females ranging from 20 to 43, the leopard is perfectly balanced between power and agility. Its muscular frame is built for stealth and strength, ideal for stalking through the low woodlands and rugged terrain of Hyenas. Their coat, ranging from pale yellow to rich gold and patterned with distinctive black rosettes, offers near-perfect camouflage. Under the dappled moonlight filtering through the mopane canopy, they vanish into their surroundings, ghosts in the darkness. Leopards can live up to 17 years in the wild, making them one of the longest-living big cats. They are also among the most widespread. In Etosha alone, their population density ranges from 0.5 to 3.8 individuals per 100 square kilometers, with numbers highest in areas dense with vegetation and prey, like Hyenas. Solitary by nature and predominantly nocturnal, leopards rely on ambush over endurance. Rather than pursue prey in open pursuit, they watch and wait, sometimes for hours, from a concealed perch or deep within the brush, Then, in an instant, they strike, swift, silent, and surgically precise, often delivering a fatal bite to the neck. After a successful kill, the leopard reveals another rare trait among big cats. It climbs, dragging its prey high into the branches, sometimes as far as 6 meters off the ground. It secures the carcass out of reach from scavengers and rivals. This use of vertical space showcases not only strength and agility, but an energy-efficient strategy that sets the leopard apart, a predator as elegant as it is elusive. A big cat's meal would be far more complete were it not for the arrival of one of Africa's most relentless intruders. Raspy, broken calls echo through the night like a stifled, mocking laugh, announcing the approach of the spotted hyena, one of the continent's most persistent and aggressive scavengers. Not as powerful as a lion nor as swift as a cheetah, the spotted hyena owes its dominance to sheer endurance, tightly knit social structures, and unmatched adaptability. It is the most widespread carnivore in sub-Saharan Africa. Weighing between 45 and 70 kilograms, females are typically heavier than males, a rare trait among carnivorous mammals. With a sturdy build, muscular neck, and a powerful jaw, the spotted hyena is built for efficiency. Its pale yellow coat, dotted with dark spots, makes it unmistakable across the savannah and the scrubby woodlands of Halali. Its jaws are among the most formidable tools in nature, capable of exerting over 448 newtons per square centimeter. Large bones, hooves, even teeth, nothing is off limits. This unique digestive capability allows them to consume almost every part of a carcass, transforming them into nature's ultimate recyclers. During the harsh, dry seasons of Etosha, this efficiency becomes vital. Though often dismissed as scavengers, spotted hyenas are, in truth, accomplished hunters. In some populations, success rates can reach an impressive 67%. They hunt in small to medium-sized groups, working in coordination to bring down large prey. In Halali, where herbivores gather around shrinking waterholes, hyenas exploit the rugged terrain, lying in wait for an ambush or seizing the opportunity to steal a kill. It's a strategy that highlights their remarkable flexibility and opportunism. Equally fascinating is their complex social structure, one of the few matriarchal systems in the animal kingdom. Clans may number over 50 individuals, with females holding dominant status. Each clan controls a vast territory, marked with scent and reinforced by vocalizations. Their signature laughter is no joke. It's a sophisticated series of vocal cues, conveying emotional state, social rank, and coordinating group behavior. These sounds resonate across Africa's savannas, dry forests, and semi-deserts, from Senegal to Namibia. In Etosha, especially around the Halali region, the spotted hyena thrives. Here, its adaptability meets a well-managed conservation environment. Within this ecosystem, the hyena serves a critical role, not just as predator or scavenger, but as nature's sanitation crew, curbing disease by efficiently consuming what others leave behind. Unlike the raucous commotion of a spotted hyena clan, another nocturnal predator moves through the darkness in utter silence. From above, the spotted eagle owl glides effortlessly on velvety wings, its flight so silent it leaves no trace in the night air. One of the most widespread owl species in southern Africa, the spotted eagle owl measures around 45 centimeters in length, with a wingspan stretching between 1 and 1.4 meters and weighing less than half a kilogram. It may not appear formidable in size, yet it possesses a suite of biological advantages that make it a master of the night. Its gray-brown plumage, dappled with white spots and fine bearing across the chest, offers perfect camouflage against the limestone outcrops and dry-season scrub of Etosha. A pale yellow facial disc and glowing eyes allow it to detect the faintest movements in near-total darkness. Its true ears remain hidden beneath facial feathers, while the prominent tufts atop its head, often mistaken for ears, serve instead as visual signals, raised or flattened, to express emotion or ward off threats. As the dry season contracts the range of prey species, drawing them toward water sources like halali, the spotted eagle owl adapts. It refines its hunting strategy using its near-silent flight, enabled by specialized feather structures on its wings and tail, to approach prey undetected. A swift swoop from a low perch can end in an instant, claiming a rodent, small bird, reptile, or even a large insect with effortless precision. In addition to keen night vision, the owl possesses extraordinary hearing. Its feather-lined facial disc acts like a satellite dish, allowing it to locate the source of even the faintest rustle. In this way, the owl becomes a key player in controlling rodent populations, especially vital during the dry season when outbreaks of mice and hares can devastate already depleted vegetation. But the spotted eagle owl is not only a hunter. When threatened, it adopts an impressive defensive stance, crouching low, wings spread wide like an umbrella, ear tufts raised, and emitting a raspy hiss to startle intruders. On rare rainy nights during the dry season, it may be seen perched with wings outstretched, as if bathing in the rain, a hauntingly beautiful image of an animal so deeply attuned to the rhythms of the wilderness. A dark silhouette glides slowly across the silent sky. Neither hurried like a predator, nor delicate like a migratory bird, the lapid-faced vulture moves with solemn purpose, a quiet sentinel above halali. With a wingspan reaching nearly 3 meters and a posture that borders on meditative, it is Africa's largest vulture. Its bare, pinkish-red head and loose folds of skin, known as lapids, drape elegantly along its neck, a natural adaptation that helps keep bacteria at bay. This featherless crown is not a sign of decay, but the product of millions of years of evolution, perfectly suited to its ecological role, cleaning up what others leave behind. In Etosha, especially during the harsh dry season, when water is scarce and food even scarcer, the lapid-faced vulture becomes a beacon of efficiency. It can detect carcasses from remarkable distances, and when a large animal falls on the barren savanna, this species is often the first to arrive. Its powerful hooked beak can tear through the toughest hides, muscles, and tendons, opening the feast for smaller scavengers. Contrary to their reputation for passivity, these vultures can strip a small antelope to the bone in under 20 minutes. And on rare occasions, they may even hunt live prey, birds, reptiles, hares, or fish, demonstrating a surprising adaptability and opportunism. Yet despite their prowess, their numbers are in steep decline. As of 2024, only around 6,500 lapid-faced vultures remain in the wild. Their greatest threat, poisoning, often unintentional, as they feed on carcasses laced with pesticides or toxic chemicals. Habitat loss and a dwindling supply of large mammals have only deepened the crisis. Today, the International Union for Conservation of Nature lists the lapid-faced vulture as endangered, a stark warning for its future. In Etosha, its role remains irreplaceable. By swiftly removing carcasses, it helps prevent the spread of bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens that threaten both animal and human life. Without spectacle or glory, the lapid-faced vulture performs one of the savannah's most vital tasks, presiding over the final chapter in nature's cycle and keeping the wild in balance. The black-faced impala is a rare subspecies found only in the arid landscapes of southwestern Namibia, with its largest population centered in Etosha. Here, it quietly endures, its survival a testament to caution, resilience, and remarkable adaptability in a harsh, unforgiving environment. Unlike its more widespread relatives, the black-faced impala is easily distinguished by a striking dark stripe running from nose to eye, complemented by a rich, deep brown coat tinged with a subtle purplish hue. Larger and darker than its eastern and central African counterparts, its coloration provides a natural advantage, camouflage against the dust and glare of intense desert sunlight. Rather than forming vast herds, this impala adopts a more intimate, flexible social structure. Groups typically number between 3 and 15 individuals, though during the breeding season, these may temporarily merge into larger herds to better safeguard their young from predators. Adult males usually live apart, approaching female groups only during periods of estrus, before retreating once more. This behavior minimizes conflict and helps maintain stability within the population. As of 2024, the global population of black-faced impala stands at around 3,000 individuals, with only about half of them remaining in Etosha. This subspecies is classified as vulnerable due not only to its limited geographic range, but also the growing threat of hybridization with the more common impala. Yet amid these challenges, Etosha has emerged as a sanctuary, now the largest protected area in the world dedicated to preserving this subspecies. It stands as one of Namibia's proudest achievements in native wildlife conservation. Though it shares the striking black facial stripe with its close relatives, the gemsbok moves with a calm, deliberate gait, distinct from the slender grace of the impala. Its long, straight horns and solid muscular frame lend it a formidable presence on the arid plains. Its sword-like horns, reaching up to 120 centimeters, are among its most iconic features, making the gemsbok one of Africa's most visually distinctive antelopes. A smooth, gray-brown coat, boldly marked with black and white on the face, legs, and flanks, allows it to vanish against the stony, sunlit terrain. During the dry season, when temperatures can soar beyond 45 degrees Celsius and most wildlife gathers at dwindling waterholes, the gemsbok stands apart. It has evolved a remarkable independence from water, capable of surviving for weeks or even months without drinking. Its diet shifts with the season, from dry grasses to roots, tubers, and fruits like the desert melon, all rich in moisture. Remarkably, it can dig over a meter deep into parched earth to unearth hidden reserves, a survival skill finely tuned to the unforgiving rhythm of the desert. Its physiology is equally adapted, capable of tolerating internal temperatures up to 45 degrees Celsius without sweating, conserving every drop of precious moisture. A specialized network of blood vessels in the nasal passages, known as the carotid rete mirabile, acts as a natural cooling system, lowering blood temperature before it reaches the brain and shielding the central nervous system from heat stress. At night, as the air cools, the gemsbok releases stored heat without moisture loss, an elegant thermoregulation cycle, honed by evolution to thrive in one of Earth's harshest environments. Primarily crepuscular, it moves at dawn and dusk when temperatures are gentler, light is softer, and predators are less active. When threatened, the gemsbok can sprint at speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour, fast enough to outrun most predators. Yet, instead of fleeing immediately, it often turns to face the danger, lowering its horns in a bold, defensive stance. It's a posture so commanding that even seasoned hunters hesitate. In Namibia, the gemsbok is more than just a creature of the wild. It is a national emblem, proudly displayed on the country's coat of arms, symbolizing both cultural identity and ecological resilience. With an estimated national population of around 373,000 individuals, this antelope has maintained a firm stronghold, supported by stable habitats and forward-thinking conservation policies. Within Etosha National Park, particularly in the quieter, less traveled regions of Dolomite Hill and Olifantsrus, The gemsbok lives undisturbed, preserving ancient behavioral patterns in a landscape that remains remarkably close to its original form. The Kalahari Desert, a vast semi-arid expanse that stretches across southern Africa, is often misunderstood as a barren wasteland. However, it is a dynamic ecosystem characterized by its unique climate and diverse wildlife. Among the most significant climatic patterns in the Kalahari is the dry season, a period that profoundly influences the intricate web of life within this arid landscape. The dry season, typically extending from May to September, presents unique challenges for the diverse animal species that inhabit this arid landscape. Despite the severe conditions, marked by extremely low rainfall, high daytime temperatures, and limited water availability, animals in the Kalahari have developed remarkable adaptations and behaviors that enable them to thrive during this trying time. Water scarcity is perhaps the most pressing challenge during the dry season in the Kalahari. Many animals must adapt to survive weeks or even months without direct access to drinking water. For instance, herbivores like the springbok and the gemsbok have evolved to extract moisture from the vegetation they consume. Their bodies are efficient at metabolizing moisture from leaves and grasses, enabling them to endure extended periods without drinking. Additionally, many animals exhibit behavioral adaptations that help conserve water. For example, the Kalahari lion and other carnivores tend to hunt during the cooler hours of dawn and dusk, minimizing their exposure to the scorching midday sun. This behavior not only helps them avoid dehydration, but also increases their chances of successful predation, as their prey is often more vulnerable during these cooler times. In response to the harsh conditions of the dry season, many species engage in migratory behaviors. The movement of animals such as wildebeest and zebras in search of greener pastures and reliable water sources demonstrates the instinctual drives that guide survival in the Kalahari. These migrations often lead to the establishment of temporary social structures, as herds band together for safety and resource efficiency. The social dynamics are particularly evident in species such as the meerkat. Living in cooperative groups, meerkats work together to forage for food and protect one another from predators. During the dry season, they become increasingly reliant on teamwork to locate food sources and warn of potential dangers. One meerkat often serves as a sentinel while others search for insects and tubers, creating a system that enhances their chances of survival. During the dry season, parental care becomes paramount, as mothers must protect their offspring from the harsh environment. Predation risks increase for young animals, and many species exhibit heightened vigilance during this time. The nurturing behaviors of mother lions, for example, include moving their cubs to shaded areas during the heat of the day and teaching them essential survival skills as they grow. Life for animals during the dry season in the Kalahari Desert is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of nature. Despite facing significant challenges such as water scarcity, extreme temperatures, and predation pressures, the diverse species that inhabit this arid landscape have evolved remarkable strategies for survival. From behavioral adaptations to social structures and reproductive timing, the animals of the Kalahari exemplify the intricate balance of life in one of the world's harshest environments. Their existence reminds us of the fragility and tenacity of life, illustrating the profound connections that bind all creatures to their ecosystems. As the dry season gives way to the rains, the cycle of life in the Kalahari continues, showcasing the enduring spirit of survival amidst adversity. Where acacia trees stretch endlessly across the vast open savanna, standing tall sentinels of nature. The Mara River winds its way, a liquid boundary between heaven and earth. Each branch, each whispering cluster of leaves along its banks tells timeless tales of eternity. The Masai Mara, a grand stage for one of Africa's most extraordinary survival dramas. Here, the river is more than just water. It is an arena where every drop carries the weight of life itself. With each passing current, every step, every heartbeat echoes like a drum, as creatures seize each fleeting second in the relentless performance of existence. Welcome to the Masai Mara, where the secrets of Africa's fiercest hunters unfold. The Masai Mara, heart of East Africa, pulses with a steady rhythm, breathing life into its breathtaking landscapes. In this untamed land, towering termite mounds rise like ancient fortresses, standing amidst the grasslands, not just as natural formations, but as watchtowers for patient predators, their eyes locked onto the world below. Here, life is unveiled in every breath, every movement, each second holding the weight of survival. The Mara River carves through the plains like a deep scar, splitting the wilderness into two contrasting worlds. Its waters are more than just a lifeline. They are a battleground, where the line between survival and death is razor thin. Beneath its murky depths, the Nile crocodile waits, a silent assassin honed by time, with an unrelenting grip and a strike as swift as fate. It crushes all in its path, in the blink of an eye. On the land, lionesses move with the poise of seasoned warriors, masters of the hunt, their every step commanding the savannah. No prey escapes the grasp of the king. Facing them, spotted hyenas gather in ruthless packs, both relentless hunters and nature's cleanup crew. Their eerie laughter echoes across the plains, a chilling challenge that unsettles even their own. Deep in the thickets, the elusive leopard lies in wait, a shadow of silent precision, its ambush executed with deadly grace. And across the vast open plains, the cheetah reigns, its legendary speed turning every chase into an unforgetting pursuit. In the realm of Africa's most formidable hunters, there is no mercy for the weak. Survival belongs only to those strong enough and cunning enough to endure. The expansive Greater Mara ecosystem is a vibrant tapestry of life, seamlessly connecting the Masai Mara National Reserve, the Mara Triangle, and surrounding conservancies. This area, ranging in elevation from 4,900 to over 7,120 feet, presents a multi-layered landscape, sculpted by valleys, rivers, and gently rolling hills. The name Masai Mara originates from the Masai community, nomadic people who have coexisted with this land for centuries. Mara, in their language, means spotted, a poetic reference to the landscape's appearance. Golden savanna grasses interspersed with shrubs and acacia trees, creating scattered patches of color across the endless plains, a unique African masterpiece. The Maasai people have not only lived here, but have also become intrinsically linked to nature, sustaining their nomadic lifestyle with livestock for generations. The Masai Mara is home to over 95 mammal species and 570 bird species. Savanna grasses, shrubs, and iconic acacia trees stand tall, symbolizing resilience amidst the vast African plains. But the Masai Mara is more than just a beautiful landscape. It is the domain of the Big Five: lion, African elephant, black rhino, leopard, and Cape buffalo. These majestic animals, once the targets of trophy hunting, now draw millions of admiring visitors from around the world. Beyond the Big Five, the Big Nine, which includes cheetah, giraffe, impala, and zebra, further enriches the Masai Mara's biodiversity. Beneath the sky, the Mara River winds its way through the savanna like a green ribbon, stretching 245 miles from its source in the Mau Escarpment, meandering through arid lands before flowing into Lake Victoria. The Mara River is the lifeblood of this wild terrain. The alluvial soils and the rich geological makeup of the Mara have given rise to a lush riverside ecosystem. This fertile soil nourishes towering acacia xanthophylla and ficus sycamorus trees, which stand as guardians, stabilizing the land and preventing erosion along the riverbanks. The Mara is not just a river, it is the lifeline and soul of the Masai Mara. Each moment tells a story of survival, transforming this land into a wild paradise where nature's heartbeat never ceases. In this narrative, the Nile crocodile emerges as the undisputed ruler of the Mara River's depths. This colossal predator is a legend in the wildlife world, capable of reaching lengths of up to 23 feet and weighing over 2,200 pounds. As formidable warriors of the aquatic realm, Nile crocodiles are perfectly adapted for precision and power, maintaining their status as the most feared hunters in these waters. According to the IUCN's 2024 report, the largest Nile crocodiles can grow up to 7 meters, about 23 feet, making them the second largest reptile species in the world, surpassed only by the saltwater crocodile. Each hunt is a masterclass in patience and unmatched strength. Under the blazing sun of the Masai Mara, Nile crocodiles are often seen lying motionless along the riverbanks, jaws agape like silent machines. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., they bask, absorbing sunlight to regulate their body temperature. When the water temperature drops below 86 degrees Fahrenheit and 30 degrees Celsius, these predators retreat to land, soaking up warmth to recharge for their next hunt. At night, as darkness cloaks the Mara River, the Nile crocodile awakens. Every muscle is wound tight, ready to strike with the precision of a coiled spring. Their four-chambered heart, similar to that of birds, ensures efficient blood oxygenation even during intense, silent movement. Sliding into the water, they become apex predators, striking with swift and deadly accuracy. During the dry seasons, when food is scarce, Nile crocodiles conserve energy by remaining motionless under the sun. Their ectothermic metabolism allows them to survive for months without eating, relying on stored energy to sustain them. When a hunting opportunity arises, they seize it with unparalleled ferocity, swallowing prey up to half their body weight, a rare feast in these parched lands. Their ability to store fat enables them to endure the harshest months, turning each meal into a vital reserve for survival. In the Masai Mara, the Nile crocodile is more than a predator. It is a symbol of resilience, adaptability, and the raw power of nature. The Nile crocodile reigns as the apex predator of its habitat, dominating its territory with few rivals. But can it truly challenge a Cape buffalo, a massive herbivore that can weigh nearly 2,000 pounds? These formidable creatures move in herds, approaching the Mara River with a stately presence, their curved, sharp horns glinting under the sun. Despite the inherent threat posed by crocodiles, Cape buffalo are not easily subdued prey. With only about a 15% success rate when hunting buffalo, crocodiles face a daunting challenge. They often target calves or older, weaker buffalo that have strayed from the herd. However, Cape buffalo are fierce warriors. When ambushed by a crocodile, they don't simply flee. They turn and confront their attacker. Their horns, which can reach up to 89 inches in length, serve as a powerful defense, capable of forcing the crocodile to retreat and abandon its attack.
Standing on top of the
This
crocodile.
defensive strength creates a formidable barrier, reducing the crocodile's hunting success rate to just around 30%. The most intimidating aspect of the Cape buffalo is their sense of unity. If one member of the herd is attacked, the entire group often turns back to counterattack. Using their horns and collective strength, they drive the crocodile away. This response not only increases the survival chances of the attacked buffalo, but also forces the predator to withdraw to avoid injury. This collective power transforms the buffalo herd into an impenetrable fortress, a challenge no enemy can easily breach. Another challenging target for the Nile crocodile is the Masai giraffe, the largest and most iconic giraffe species in the Masai Mara. These giraffes are also the tallest in the world, reaching heights of 18 to 20 feet on average. When a Masai giraffe lowers its head to the Mara River to drink, it must splay its front legs wide and bring its head close to the ground, a vulnerable position that leaves it exposed to a sudden crocodile strike. As a result, Masai giraffes remain constantly alert, dipping their heads to drink for only brief moments, typically between 15 and 30 seconds, to minimize risk. Even in this precarious position, the giraffe is not an easy target. Its powerful front legs can deliver formidable kicks, each generating a force of approximately 4,400 pounds, enough to break bones or cause severe injury to any predator that dares to get too close. Because of this, Nile crocodiles, despite their ferocity, often steer clear of adult giraffes, instead targeting younger or weaker individuals. Beyond their physical strength, Maasai giraffes possess exceptional vision and observational skills. Standing tall on their long legs like towering pillars, they scan the water and grasslands with sharp eyes, spotting predators from afar and giving them ample time to react before an attack begins. These defensive tactics make the Maasai giraffe one of the most vigilant and difficult prey to catch near the river. The Mara River, a lifeline of the Masai Mara, is also home to one of Africa's most iconic giants, the African bush elephant. As a member of the Big Five and the largest land animal on Earth, these elephants stand up to 13 feet tall and can weigh as much as 15,000 pounds. With their iconic large ears, long tusks, and immense presence, African bush elephants are renowned for their intelligence, long memory, and complex social behaviors. According to a 2023 study published in the Wildlife Ecology Journal, these elephants can learn and remember migration routes, recognize individual members of their herd, and even express emotions such as joy when a new member is born or grief when one passes away. As herds of African bush elephants approach the banks of the Mara River, each step resonates with dominance. These giants claim the shallow waters, where Nile crocodiles, having waited in hunger for months, lie silent, poised for ambush. Yet, with their sheer strength and size, adult elephants are rarely the targets of these predators. However, desperation can sometimes drive a crocodile to act against all odds. It might latch onto an elephant's trunk or tail, the parts closest to the water surface. But this only turns the hunt into a tug of war, where victory inevitably belongs to the elephant. In cases where a crocodile targets a calf or a weakened older elephant, success remains highly unlikely. That's when the protective circle formed by the adult elephants becomes an impenetrable barrier. The females and larger individuals create a sturdy shield, ensuring the safety of the young in these dangerous waters. At the slightest hint of threat, they stomp their massive feet, wield their trunks like formidable weapons, and produce thunderous calls that echo far and wide, intimidating and driving the predator away. Thanks to the herd's tight-knit organization and strong protective instincts, the success rate of crocodile attacks on young elephants at the Mara River is less than 10%. This collective power compels crocodiles to retreat, ensuring that the Masai Mara remains a safe haven for future generations of these majestic creatures. The powerful strides of the African bush elephant do more than merely stir the ground around the Mara River. They reshape the landscape itself. As these colossal creatures tear through vegetation and dig into the earth in search of hidden water, they inadvertently create small pools and water channels. These actions function like nature's brushstrokes, enhancing biodiversity by forming new habitats for fish and other aquatic life. According to a 2024 study by the African Ecology Research Center, the water bodies crafted by elephants serve as ideal breeding grounds for Nile crocodiles, providing a safe environment for their eggs against predators. While the presence of elephants may not represent a direct symbiotic relationship, it establishes a subtle connection that quietly shapes the rhythm of the entire ecosystem. Unlike unpredictable prey, the Nile crocodile eagerly anticipates the grand feast that takes place each year from July to October. During this period, the Mara River transforms into a bustling corridor for the Great Migration, the largest movement of herbivores in Africa. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by 300,000 zebras and hundreds of thousands of gazelles, leave Tanzania's Serengeti in search of fresh grass and clean water in the Masai Mara. Seasoned predators, the Nile crocodiles, lie in wait, concealed beneath the water surface as the massive herds gather anxiously along the riverbank. When the time comes to cross the fast-flowing waters, panic sets in and the crocodiles seize their opportunity. Mortality rates among the migrating herds can reach 10 to 15%, with many falling victim to the sudden, ruthless ambushes of these ancient reptiles. The crocodile's hunting strategy is simple yet devastatingly effective. Target the weakest prey amidst the chaos and dispatch it with precision. Once caught, the victim is subjected to the legendary death roll, a violent maneuver where the crocodile spins its entire body in the water like a powerful whirlpool. The force is enough to break bones and tear flesh, shredding even the largest prey into smaller, manageable pieces. Despite being solitary hunters, Nile crocodiles and the Masai Mara display remarkable cooperation when the situation demands. Once one initiates an attack, others quickly join, clamping their powerful jaws onto a struggling prey. They take turns spinning and tearing, reducing the carcass into shareable portions. In these frenzied moments, the river transforms into a gruesome banquet, showcasing the terrifying unity of these apex predators. With each meal, a single crocodile can consume up to 50 pounds of meat, storing enough energy to endure the lean months ahead. At the crossing points of the Mara River, Burchell zebras and blue wildebeest face their fate. Hundreds fall victim in this brutal battle for survival, and the river runs red, a stark reminder that only the strong and the lucky make it through. As the Mara River's currents surge, wildebeest plunge in with collective force and unyielding determination. Once the crossing point is identified, the herd storms forward like a relentless tide, their movements synchronized in a powerful surge. Often interspersed with the black and white striped zebras, the chaotic mix makes it difficult for crocodiles to single out a target. If a wildebeest is caught, those nearby immediately accelerate, increasing their speed and vigilance to distance themselves from the predator. Wildebeest also communicate through warning calls, alerting the herd to imminent danger and enhancing their collective survival. In these intense moments, the migration becomes more than just a mobile feast for the Nile crocodiles. It transforms into a formidable test of patience for the predators. Zebras, though fewer in number, serve as pioneers in the migration. They understand that the Mara River is a deadly arena, dominated by lurking crocodiles. Yet they do not cross alone. Instead, they rely on unity, waiting until their numbers swell before making the perilous journey together. This collective approach forms a moving wall of bodies, reducing the chances of any single zebra being singled out. The crossing is a shifting mosaic, each zebra blending into the herd, making it difficult for predators to strike with precision. Lead individuals often guide the way, carefully selecting the safest passage points. With their powerful legs, zebras navigate the shallows, sometimes even trampling over the predators lurking beneath. If one falls victim, the rest seize the moment to escape. Zebras further enhance their survival odds by merging with the vast wildebeest herds. When both species charge into the river together, they create a massive surging force that significantly decreases the likelihood of any single individual being taken by a crocodile's ambush. This relentless battle for survival is not just driven by instinct, but by unity. In the face of danger, zebras become warriors of the migration, forging ahead through the perilous waters of the Mara. Surviving the treacherous Mara River is only the beginning. In the harsh and unforgiving ecosystem of the Mara, other giants lie in wait, ready to strike at any prey that lets its guard down. Even the most fearsome predators are not immune. At times, hunters become the hunted. The relationship between Nile crocodiles and big cats like lions and leopards is one of cautious confrontation. When food is scarce, both are willing to steal from each other, leading to tense standoffs near the water's edge. These encounters are often a battle of intimidation, bared teeth, guttural growls, and calculated movements. However, when a significant size difference exists, posturing can quickly turn into a deadly pursuit. The lion, king of the savannah, reigns as the apex predator on land. Weighing up to 550 pounds, its most distinctive feature, the thick, dark mane, serves not only as a shield against the bites of rivals, but also as a symbol of strength and dominance. A lion pride is more than just a group of animals. It is a highly structured society, typically consisting of 10 to 15 members. Lionesses, slender yet powerful, are the primary hunters, working together with remarkable precision to bring down prey. Meanwhile, the males, though less involved in hunting, play a crucial role in defending the territory and protecting the pride from formidable threats such as crocodiles and rival predators like hyenas. For lions, every confrontation is more than a test of strength. It is a display of pride, resilience, and survival instinct. And in the endless battle for dominance, only the most cunning and powerful endure. Beyond ungulates, the Nile crocodile also preys on primates like the olive baboon, also known as the Anubis baboon. These baboons live in complex groups called harems, which can number over 150 individuals, functioning like small societies with tightly knit structures. Dominant males lead the group, while females form strong alliances, ensuring the cohesion of the entire troop. The Mara River is both a vital source of life and a dangerous battleground for these primates. As the baboon troop approaches the water's edge, they remain highly alert. Sharp eyes scan every ripple, and ears are tuned to any unusual sounds. The males stand guard like sentinels, ready to sound the alarm at the first sign of trouble. When threatened, the olive baboon emits a loud, booming call that echoes across the riverbanks. The dominant males respond immediately, creating even louder noises and sometimes charging toward nearby areas to distract the predator, clearing a path for the troop to retreat. These tactics showcase not only their unity, but also their intelligent defense strategies. If cornered, baboons do not back down. Adult males can counterattack with their physical strength and agile combat skills. They might leap onto low branches to escape the crocodile's reach, or even throw stones at the predator from above. This behavior demonstrates that baboons are not merely prey. They are warriors of the wild, relying on collective strategy and intelligence to confront even the most formidable predator in the Mara. The sunrise on the African savanna is a breathtaking spectacle that awakens the landscape in a cascade of colors and sounds. As the first light of dawn breaks over the horizon, the sky transforms into a stunning palette of oranges, pinks, and purples, casting a warm glow across the vast expanse of grasslands. The air is crisp and cool, filled with a sense of tranquility as nocturnal creatures retreat to their shelters. The chirping of birds gradually rises, creating a symphony of awakening life. As the sun ascends, its golden rays illuminate the dew-kissed grass, sparkling like diamonds in the early light. The silhouettes of acacia trees stand tall against the horizon, their iconic shapes adding a striking contrast to the vibrant sky. In the distance, herds of wildebeest and zebras begin to stir, their movements more pronounced as they prepare for the day ahead. The gentle rustle of leaves and the soft thuds of hooves on the ground announce the start of a new cycle of life and survival. For many, the sunrise on the African savanna is not just a visual feast, but a reminder of the interconnectedness of life, the beauty of nature, and the enduring cycle of day and night in this extraordinary habitat. This moment of peace and awakening is fleeting, but it sets the stage for the vibrant, sometimes harsh realities of life on the savanna, where survival is a daily challenge amid breathtaking beauty. The lion, often referred to as the king of the savanna. Strength, majesty, and an intricate social structure that defines its journey to dominance. This journey is not merely a transition from cub to adult, but a complex narrative woven through challenges, survival, and the intricate dynamics of pride life. The lion journey begins at birth, where cubs emerge into a world that is both nurturing and perilous. Typically born in litters of 2 to 4, vulnerable creatures rely entirely on their mother for sustenance and protection during their early weeks. The lioness, as the primary caregiver, instills essential survival skills in her young. Through playful interactions with their siblings and guided experiences, cubs learn the importance of social bonds and the foundational skills needed for hunting and defense. This formative stage sets the groundwork for their future roles within the pride. As cubs mature, they become acutely aware of their place within the pride's complex social hierarchy. Lions tend to remain in their natal pride, while young males face a pivotal moment in their development. Typically around the ages of 2 to 3, male lions are driven by dominant males, prompting a quest for independence. This separation, while daunting, is